Like 31 seconds.
Wait a minute.
Attention, party people. This content may include explicit material. Viewer discretion is advised. The intention is not to offend, but to provide information.
Oh, yeah.
We are pushing the culture forward. Proceed only if you are comfortable with potentially sensitive topics.
Right.
And probably a fuck ton of cursing.
You end it with a fuck ton of cursing.
Well, we have been on more than 30 seconds, so I am free to drop those fresh organic cusses as I please.
All right. With that being said, welcome to another edition of UNRAP the podcast. I am your host, Heat Detector. Okay.
To this day.
And to my right, we have the illustrious Nashvino. And we have our very wonderful engineer, Swipe God, the engineer. Okay. Here on UNRAP, we like to explore the intricacies of the music business and rappers or MCs.
We do.
And the culture of hip hop. Yeah.
It's pretty important.
Yes, it is very important.
It's like the basis of
to push the culture forward.
Man, fuck that shit. You know what it is, man. Hit the music, baby. Hit the fucking music.
Yeah, something like
Look.
that.
Come on, what are you waiting on? Let's go. You already know what it is, man. It's on the rap, baby.
Okay, good.
We back at it like crack addicts, boy. This is Friday, boy. We about to get it the fuck in. Let's go. Had your ass for a second, didn't I?
No.
To this day. Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
You already know what it is. I am your boy, Easy Detector in the motherfucking building. Let's go. Dummy. Stop the music. Stop the fucking music. I'm your boy, Heat Detector in the motherfucking building. You already know what it is. This is the coldest podcast in the city. The Windy City. The city of broad shoulders. Goddamn Chi-Town.
The city of
Chirac. All that shit.
Nobody really likes Chirac.
Whatever.
No.
Oh, you kicked the goddamn cord again. Oh, okay.
I ain't kicked no cord.
And to my right, we got the Nashvino. Damn. We starting off with a banger.
Oh, boy.
I'm just knocking shit. I'm excited. You know when I get fucking excited. Hold on. Introduce yourself. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
I said, where the fuck we going?
I got
Good.
this guy.
Well, I am the Naj Fino. So, as we were talking about before Heat Detector got all weird, hope everybody's week was great. You know?
Yeah.
It's rough out here. Great for checking in for a double dose of hip hop, you know? Hopefully everybody gets hip hop horny by the time this is over.
Horny. That is the trademark.
Hip hop horny.
Hip hop horny. Yeah. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
just
That's our new slogan.
just tweaking your tits to hip hop, you know?
Tweaking your tits. Tweaking your tits to hip hop.
Tweaking your tits to hip hop.
I didn't touch that. You
did, man.
There's so much weird shit going on in the world, and
Yeah.
it's good to have a little time to just throw it all away, you know?
Yeah. I would like to say R.I.P. to the homie Rich Homie Quan. Peace.
Oh, you mean Rich Homie gone?
Oh.
Too early.
Good Lord.
Oh.
Good
Too early.
Lord.
Man, damn, my bad, man.
Wow.
That was awful
Man.
how clever that was. Just
Man,
Yeah, wrong timing.
man, my bad, man. I'm just a little dude doing a little tiny podcast in Chicago. What the fuck do I know?
hey, I don't know.
Man, we got a dope ass show tonight.
I think we do.
You know what I'm gonna say, right?
No, I don't. And I'm not going to guess
You
because
just did it again. Yes, you did. I just watched you. You got them long ass goddamn Crocs on.
Right here. Right.
Yeah, man.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
misplaced aggression going on around here.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say though, right?
No, I don't know what you're going to say.
Sure you do.
So tired of falling for this every week.
You're not falling
You're
for
gonna
anything.
say you're excited than the motherfucker to the third power.
No, I'm not gonna say that. Why would I say that? I'm excited like a motherfucker to the third power. Who even says that?
You want to push all the shit off the table because you just can't contain it.
Well, I'm excited like that. My brain is overpopulated right now with thoughts.
Brain is overpopulated with thought.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now with it.
It's a nice change, you know?
Yeah.
I thought you was excited to the point you was gonna run through a wall.
No. I'm not gonna. Why? Then I won't be able to
I
do
think
the
we should
show.
try that.
Try to run through a wall.
Yes, that would show everyone
You're low
just how
key trying to get rid
motivated
of
you
me.
are.
We have a fucking show to do. You know this, right?
I don't want to get rid of you. I'm just saying. You just go ahead and run through that wall.
Go ahead
'cause
and
I
run
know
through
you
that
can do
wall,
it.
little buddy. Let's see how strong you are. No, but we got an exciting show tonight. We got a lot to talk about. There's going to be a whole lot of shit to talk about. A whole lot of things.
Yes.
And you know what we're good for here? It's dropping gems. And I have a sneaky suspicion that some gems are going to be dropped tonight.
By the bucket full.
By the bucket full. Maybe by the truckload. Yeah. Maybe by the buttload. All Diddy.
What about the fuck ton load?
A fuck ton load of fucking gems. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some knowledge might be dropped tonight. Along with some entertainment. Along with some good music. Along with a whole lot of other shit. But we have a great show that we're about to dive deep into. All Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna Diddy the fuck out of this show tonight.
Oh, that made me giggle.
I am going to Diddy the fuck out of this show tonight. But we're gonna talk a lot of music, a lot of some music business. We were just talking about AI. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is going to be a dope show. I feel like all of the shows are dope, but I feel like this one's gonna be extra dope tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do all that, how the fuck you doing? Because before the show, I'm going to tell you right now, your attitude was just a little motherfucking limey. You know what I'm saying? A little sour, a little,
I didn't have a sour.
a little parched, a little, a little
More.
fucked up.
More or less just mentally preoccupied.
Oh, your cycle? Is it a cycle?
Cycle of violence that
Is
is
your
about to ensue.
Is your aunt in town?
I don't know. I don't have.
Huh?
I don't have family members. I was hatched.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. All right.
know.
Well, as long as your attitude has changed and you're in a better frame of mind, I'm good with that. Yeah. What about you, Swipe God the Engineer, a.k.a. Beat It by Bonzo?
I'm good.
A.k.a.
I'm good. Everything's good.
Everything's
Good.
good?
You good. The guests.
I'm fucking great. What do you mean I'm good? I'm fucking great. I'm fucking fabulous. I'm fucking delicious.
You're not. First
Yeah, I'm I'm not.
I will not allow you to use that.
I'm
That
using it.
word should never come out of your mouth.
You have to
Man, coming out of my
You have
mouth
to be
is a no
way
diddy. There's
more
no diddy.
pleasant.
You realize, excuse me, we have a show to do.
You got to be way more pleasant to use that
You know what I'm
phrase.
saying? I'm pleasant as fuck. I don't know what you're dealing
No
with.
one who's ever said I'm pleasant is fuck.
I'm pleasant as fuck. Is
It's
ever
pleasant.
pleasant as fuck,
Like,
right? I'm pleasant as fuck.
no.
Trust me. Trust what I'm saying.
No, that's just like saying, no, I'm okay. I just murdered someone, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
No.
That's like saying, no disrespect, but
Right.
All
You stupid
disrespect.
motherfucker. Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
no disrespect. You're dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you're trying to say that I'm doing over
Have you
here?
ever actually said that in like a real life conversation?
Yeah. I said it. I
hilarious.
said it to you know who.
Oh.
So, no disrespect, but you a stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, we just gonna speed up
Yeah.
down that street.
You wanna go down that street?
Nah,
Keep on track.
All right.
we ain't lending no more energy. So
Nah. So what?
what's happening right now?
I don't know. You introduced our guest.
Happening
Let's see where you're at with
right
it.
now. Right now.
Go ahead. Come
I
on.
really hate when you do that shit.
Well, let's go.
Cause that's your fucking job.
It's
You know what
not
I'm
my
saying?
job.
And I think you wanted me to cuss you out. That's why
No,
you did
no, no,
that
no.
shit.
Come on. We have viewers watching. Show's going. If I was the producer of the show, I'd be over there like,
Well, you know you're already doing that. So,
yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, introduce our guest.
I don't want to
You
introduce our guest.
you didn't do any homework, did you?
I did.
Well, then introduce him.
That's not my job.
Well,
so you're gonna
guess it's-
take a sip of your coffee. I'm gonna take a sip of my water.
All right.
My
I'm
water.
tired of fucking with you. Tonight we're gonna be talking to one of the main man's dudes and all that kinds of stuff over at Machine Wash Music. Y'all better get prepared. You sit your asses down, get a drink, roll up a blunt,
Get a shovel.
get a shovel, because there's a whole lot of shit gonna be thrown at you right now.
Take your socks off also.
Yeah, kick your feet up. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Trust me when I say that shit. No disrespect. You know, that didn't work, did it? Whatever. Let's keep
No,
going.
that was cool.
No,
That was cool.
no.
Honestly.
You're fucking up my flow right now.
It was.
But in the building tonight, we got a representative from Machine Wash Records, Alejandro. Alex. I just want to fucking almost destroy your fucking last name. Tell that shit to me again. Hassle.
You tried. That's all that matters.
No hassle. No hassle. Alejandro is no hassle. No hassle. No hustle.
Every day
Is
I'm
that racist?
every day I'm hustling.
Ah.
Yeah.
In the building. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. I'm
Wait
having
a minute,
the
you got that bourbon sitting up there
I
like
got
you own the
Jepson's
joint.
bourbon. This is a Chicago staple as of like 4 years ago, I think. It's made by the makers of Malort, but it's bourbon.
We need if we're gonna put that on the table, we need a sponsorship, man.
Yeah.
Run that shit.
Just reach out.
Yeah,
Don't,
reach
don't
out.
we look like we need a drink? You know?
Well, I don't, but you know what I'm saying?
I might.
need
If you want
a
to be
drink.
angry, get some Jepson's Malort.
Damn.
So how you doing tonight, bro?
I'm doing fine. It's a Friday. Work week is over, and I'm ready to enjoy the weekend. I have
Yeah.
a full Saturday too, so I'm gonna enjoy myself.
Got a full Saturday. Is that
Yeah.
business or pleasure?
A little bit of both. It's kind of how it always is with music. Like music
Right.
it might be my business, but it's also my pleasure.
Ooh,
So
I like how
Yeah.
that sounds.
That's nice.
My business and my pleasure.
Okay.
Ooh, that's like a girlfriend or a wife or something. She's my business, but she's also my pleasure.
Bars.
bars.
Maybe even hashtag. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
All right.
So, let's get into it. Might as well just jump head first into it, man. How in the fuck did you get into music?
Oh shit. Oh, I have to go way back. Let's see. Like just getting into music at all? Like this,
Yeah, let's start there.
as a listener.
For as far
Well,
as
what
hip
if
hop
we
is
start
concerned.
with, who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah, you're right. That's why I told you to fucking introduce him.
Don't fucking yell at me.
Well, shit. All right.
So wait, why am I here? Maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
No.
No.
No?
First, who are you?
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I am a human.
See, you would think we
How
have.
general is the question here? I don't know where we're going.
This shit is like we have never done this before.
Okay.
Right now. We've done this shit umpteen million fucking times, and tonight you want to act like this is our first time. Jesus fucking Christ! All right, so let us know, or let the people know who you are, where you're from, and all that shit.
All right, so my name is. I guess I have a few names because this is the way that shit goes when you're kind of a Chicano person. So I'm Alex Jasso. I'm Alejandro Jasso. You might know me as Jazz from things that I've done as an artist, or as a producer, or as a recording engineer. I grew up in Rogers Park, East Side and West Side, because my parents split up. I love that. So like Clark Street, the Mexican side of that of Rogers Park. My dad, my stepdad still live over there. Well, used to live over there. And then my mom's side was on the west side of Rogers Park.
What's up?
And I grew up over there. Went to Rogers public school, and then went to Lane Tech as a high school.
Don't laugh at the public school.
No, I'm not the public school, but it's because I said Rogers Park like 3 times in a row. I'm like, I went to Rogers. I live in Rogers. Lane Tech High School was a big hip hop scene there. People who went there, Prime, the girl who sang on the Commercial Conflict song went there. There was a bunch of who else was, man? I know there's a big b-boy scene there. Like it was like a hip hop, I don't know, proving ground in a way.
Right.
Definitely was a scene there. But I mean, I really didn't get into. I mean, I was always ahead. I was always ahead listening to music. Like I couldn't walk outside of the house without my Walkman or my CD player or whatever I had on my.
Tell the kids out there what a Walkman and a CD player.
A Walkman is a tape player that's portable.
What's a tape player?
What's a tape? It's a thing that has it's a magnetic cassette thing that you
A what?
I don't know how to explain that. A cassette. It's like a file that's physical
Right now,
and it spins around.
There's a 19-year-old right now, and his head literally fucking exploded in his fucking room.
But isn't it sick how you can go down a rabbit hole explaining that? Like,
yeah, I'm not even thinking about when so I think I bought I was bought my first piece of music, I think in 6th grade. I remember my first 6 tapes.
What are they? Run it.
Okay, so it was The Brat, Functified.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 11. I think,
You're
or 12
11,
years
your
old.
parents
what
are
year?
letting
What
you
year
listen
did you
to
graduate from high
Functified?
school?
1999.
I hate.
I'm 40. I am 43 years old.
Because you went to you went to Lane.
I went to Lane
Vaughn.
Tech. Yeah.
Gross.
I feel like you hate him now.
So, hey man, first female solo artist to go platinum, The Brat,
Yeah.
without showing any titties.
We know.
Right. Okay.
Even then, we knew.
I mean, that's
We
a
knew.
big accomplishment. I think for 1994.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big accomplishment. I mean, love it or hate her. I mean, whatever.
That's number 1. Okay.
Doggy Style. Fantastic. I was a West Coast kid for sure.
Wow.
Coolio, Fantastic Voyage. Warren G.
wait.
Yeah. Hey man, 1994.
Wait.
That's what was popular.
Well,
Go back and listen to that album again.
No.
I ain't listened to
But
the
I'm
album.
gonna give
songs and I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a fucking pass because he was 11 years old. Give him a fucking pass.
I'm saying these are my first 6
I
tapes,
was in
guys.
Cali.
My
Nobody
first
was
6
listening to that.
That's
shit,
what was
okay?
cracking though.
But yo, go back and
outside
listen to the
Cali.
first album. That first Coolio record has some like hidden gems on it. Actually, right now I'll go back. I don't go
Isn't
back and
Coolio
listen.
dead?
He is dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Coolio.
And it might have been his, years as a crackhead. They got caught up with him.
That album might have been his undoing.
Damn. It could be. Yeah.
Just saying.
But that album actually has some bangers. DJ Wino has some like good beats on there, and I think King T's on that record. I mean, it's the rest of the record is actually a lot more like not so commercialized. It's more of a like him talking about he talked about him being a crackhead on that album, like coming out of the closet as a crackhead to his family and people he knew. Like it was actually some real shit on there.
Yeah,
But
You
definitely.
think
was,
a person
yeah.
talking about being a
That's what I'm doing
crackhead
tomorrow.
is some real shit?
That's what I'm doing tomorrow.
I mean, if you're gonna admit and be like,
I mean, if you're a crackhead, yeah, it is.
I mean, that's an embarrassing thing to be.
You admitting it on wax.
Yeah, like I don't. Who else?
That's kind of
Who
revolutionary,
else?
honestly.
I don't actually actually.
Revolutionary.
I mean, back then,
I mean, still now. Who else talked about being a crackhead? Like I used to be a crackhead. DMX
Right.
maybe. I think that's probably the only other person I can think of.
Nah, he
Not
actually
even
he was
X.
closeted and
Getting
crackhead them.
I don't think
all the way to the
I don't
end.
think he ever talked about it, right?
No.
But he
What-
definitely was.
Okay, what were the other ones?
Warren G. Regulate, right? Is that? I think that's the name of the album still. There.
Yep.
And
Regulators.
then okay, now these other two are going to be like, what the fuck? Well, no, actually, I got one more. Black Rain was one of them too, and I still love that album to this day.
It's a very
Queen
good album.
Latifah.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite albums. Still, I still listen to that album. The other one's funny, and I love this movie still too. It's the soundtrack to Fear of a Black Hat. And you're like, how the
Nobody
fuck?
knows
Why was
about-
this kid
nobody knows
listening
about
to the why?
Because that shit's hilarious.
Because of the box.
Yeah.
Because of Ice Froggy Frog on the box.
Yep.
I bought that whole album based on that one song on that. I didn't see the movie till years later.
Yeah.
What was
And
the
I was
movie
like,
again?
Fear
Fear of a Black Hat. Like Fear of a Black Planet. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think-
It was interesting.
But it was like the group was like a meld of NWA and Public Enemy and Ice-T. When they went solo, it was like one dude was Ice-T and one dude was PM
Oh,
Dawn.
was it
And
like
one-
kind of like
Yeah.
CB4?
Yeah.
Was a CB4 kind of like a CB4 movie?
Yeah, it was a
But
spoof.
more like East Coast kind of sort of.
Yeah. It was a spoof on CB4 in a way, but I think it came out the same. No, it came out before CB4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
they
check it
actually.
out.
That's why it didn't do well because CB4 was way bigger because they had Chris Rock in it.
Right.
And these guys were like, who was Rusty Cundiff? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody looked that shit up because
Yes.
that was funny.
You should watch. If you haven't watched Fear of a Black Hat, go ahead and watch that right now.
Yes.
I don't think
Find it somewhere. It's probably free somewhere on something.
Yeah.
It is.
'Cause
Guys. It's on the Prime menu if you do Amazon
There you go.
Prime. It's up there right now.
It was made for like $1 million. Like total budget was $1 million.
That's a lot back
Yeah,
then.
it was. I mean, the dude was indie as fuck, and he went on to do Tales from the Hood, and then eventually was the director on Chappelle Show.
I think he did Half Plenty.
Yeah.
Also.
Chappelle Show.
I think it's called Half Plenty.
He did a few movies, but man, he is underrated director for working with nothing
Yeah.
type dude.
For sure.
Yeah, the Black
Shout out to
Tarantino.
Sheba.
And what's the
Gotta
last?
say.
What's the last one?
That was 6, right?
Oh no, I thought you had one more.
Said you had one more.
Said-
You had two that were weird. You said Fear of
Well-
the Black Hat. What
well,
was the other one?
No, I was thinking that everyone was weird. It was not actually. So I had Queen Latifah,
Black
The
Rain,
Brat,
right.
Black Rain, Coolio, Snoop, Warren G, Fear of Black Hat. Those are my first 6. Yep.
For that time, it sounds about right for a person
Yeah.
born on the north side
94.
of Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
and to be 11 years old.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, look, I was
My
Your
11.
shit
taste in music was
My
wasn't-
shit looked
Look,
exactly the
wasn't
same.
And that was me begging my
Tino.
mom to buy these things
gotta touch the
at
cord
like
underneath there.
Camelot, if you remember what the fuck that was.
Yes.
Camelot Music, when they still had a black section of music.
Yes, yes.
That was like,
Camelot.
I think I started buying music when they just finally split that shit up into like
down below.
R&B
Actual relevant
and rap and
categories.
like
No,
actual
the
genre
Fox.
instead of actual genres.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing like the
It's on.
black
Leave it.
Or
section
urban or
of
some
herb.
shit.
No,
like
it's
that.
it said black. Like it's
All right.
like there was literally like black music
Yeah.
in the store. Like it said
It
black.
said black music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in Chicago.
Yes. It was in a mall, but yeah, it was
There weren't
wow.
subcategories
yeah,
yet.
it was in a genre. It was
But
like
it said black music.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, I still have I bought a T-shirt from when I was in Tennessee of from like what's the dude's name from White Stripes, Jack White.
Not sure.
No.
I don't know, but he had bought some stuff back then. It was a race record, and it said like, "Hey, get the new race record." It was like a blues record, but it's like they call it race records. Back
Wow.
then, you know,
That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, it got better by calling it black instead of a race record.
Wow. Them were the good old days.
The 80s.
The good old fucking days.
Simpler times.
Simpler fucking times. Yeah. All right.
Oh, so that's me. And then eventually, college. Went to Northeastern, met with some people. There was a thing called the Hip Hop Organization at Northeastern, already started by another guy named Alex. Not me, but I picked it up in 2000. Became the president of it, and then we started throwing some shows there. Some of those shows involve people like Typical Cats, their first show, Mass Hysteria. We did a show with All Natural and Daily Planet and Matlock and the Family
Matlock.
Jewels.
Shout out to Matlock.
And I think the second year was like, shit, I can't think of people. Quasar doing a solo. Astonish. Oh man, Greenwich guys, I love them a lot too. What was it called?
Well, you're
Prime Meridian.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I got so many things. Man, it's such in my head. I can't even think about it now.
So you're knee deep in Chicago hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing it literally for love because it was not giving me any money. I was just like, I wanted to have a show to show people these people that I like listening to.
Right.
You know, and then making the college pay for it.
Right. Oh yeah, that's even better. Right?
It was a mutually beneficial relationship where like, I get to do this thing, and then they get to get this pub as like, hey, we're cool. Come to our school. Right.
Yeah.
And the general public was like, okay, well, you know, if you're a general student body person, I got this free thing to go to because if you go to the school, it was free for you.
Right.
And if you're outside, it was only $5-10, and it was not like a age restricted show. It was 18 and over. So if you're a kid, a lot of these other hip hop shows were 21 and over. This was a chance for you to come to these shows that you normally couldn't go to. Right. And we try to pack the thing to the gills like all night. Just like, hey, next act. So it'd be like 6-7 people there, 6-7 acts for the whole night, and you get your money's worth for sure for $5-10.
That's what's
like,
up, man. Well, look at you, moving and shaking.
Yeah, March Mad Illness started. I can't remember the guy's last name, but started by another Alex, who started the whole organization. The first one had Kanye as a hype man for Rhyme Fest. If you were at that show with the Far Side, so
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Wow, who knew?
Yeah.
Look at Alex.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
All right.
Hustle.
Okay, so now
Every day is hustling.
are we moving into why you're here?
Sure. No.
What you look at me for? She's a fucking co-host. She was supposed to be fucking.
Look at him. Just no. Okay. Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Why is he here?
Is this an existential question? Like, should I ask like, is this like what is life?
Yes.
Or
A little bit like 50-50.
Tell us about Machine Wash Records. I think that's what she's getting to.
Okay,
I don't know.
I got you. A little bit later, after all that stuff at Northeastern, met some people, made connections. People who used to be in that group include Ladarian, who's Uncle L, who was part of Manifest Destiny, who now does his own thing as a beatsmith. And was a part of a bunch of different projects. I can't name them all, but one of them more recently was Black Magic with Billy Free, which was released on the Machine Wash Records label. But just to say that at some point I met Shantala, I met Diego, who are in maintenance, who had their little group called Maintenance Crew. I met at Northeastern. They were also part of the hip hop organization at some point too. Met Daryl Stewart, met Sean Doe through Daryl.
Shout out Sean Doe.
Yep. And those four, and plus Visto, who was part of Local Cats, and Bim, who was also part of Local Cats, was also part of their. I mean, I'm gonna go on tangents here. I can't.
Go ahead.
I feel like, man, I'm gonna be here for like 9 hours just naming names.
But
but
do your thing.
So Visto and Bim, part of Local Cats, also went to Northeastern. Met them there. Bim also, after I left, took over some of the duties of hip hop organization and threw some shows as well. And then went on to do I Know Prince with Visto, but Visto was also kind of like a DJ for Maintenance Crew.
Hold on, I got a question. How in the fuck do you remember all of this shit?
Man, I'm trying to just like,
because I'm over here like, wait a minute, that's a lot of names.
and then.
Because I know, like, with a lot of times, it takes me like, if I start talking about some shit or things that I've done, I'll have to like, what was that motherfucker's name again? Like, I can't just like spew them out like that, man. How the fuck do you remember all these dudes' names and where they were from and what they did and all their damn songs and who did what? I can't, man.
I don't know. It might be the ADD. I'm not sure what it is, but it's the things that I think are important. They kind of stick in my head. So these are important to me.
ADD?
Yeah.
Attention to dick disorder? I don't know. I'm asking. I told you I was going to diddy the fuck out of this show.
Yes.
No, Diddy.
Clearly.
All right. My bad. It's the AD. Is it ADHD or ADD?
Dick disorder.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All right. I'm fucking with you, man. Come on now. Can everybody lighten up, please?
Oh,
so
no.
I told you she's bringing in that bad fucking mojo. Coming in here all, I don't want to talk. Like, come on now.
Oh, shit. All right.
Sliving this shit up.
Man, and I was living, I think when I was now. I was at Albany Park. So I moved to Albany Park maybe 2007, I want to say. And this was while I went from Northeastern. I had moved to Columbia. I was doing an audio production degree at the time to start making music as a career to me, because that's how I was at the time. I was like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make that my living,
Right.
of some sort. So I wanted to be this immersed in music. I did find out that like it's a shitty living at some point. But I did like what I was learning. And at the time, I just wanted to get some practice and doing stuff. So I had talked to Maintenance Crew, which was at the time was Shantalism and Ubiquity and
Ubiquity
Cash.
Records?
Oh no, the guy has named himself after Ubiquity. Roy. Yeah. Not Records. The guy's MC name was Ubiquity.
Oh, okay.
And he produced whatever. But they were a group called Maintenance Crew. Visto used to DJ for them. And I've been to a few of the shows. I know the guys, from around the neighborhood where I was living at the time. And I decided, hey, you guys are working on a third record. This is their third record at this point. I had listened to the first two and I liked them. And I thought, hey, why don't you let me work on this thing? I'll do it for free because this is my first thing that I've done as a producer, as an engineer, but I got to set up at home, and I want you to, it's a bit of an upgrade from what you guys were using before.
Right.
So I wanted to make it sound better, but also I want to put my touch on it,
Right.
So that record I kind of co-produced, and it was like, I was like definitely in my student mode where I was like, oh, I just learned this thing. Let me try this on your thing, So it was a little more of experimenting. It also was like
figuring out
my sound, but also trying to get something, also asking them like, hey, how do you like to sound?
Right.
What didn't you like was there anything you didn't like about how you sounded before? Can I make it better? And it was a little bit of back and forth. And that one was definitely a learning experience. I don't like, listen to that record now. It's called Plain and Simple. It's blue. We call it the blue record a lot of times. A lot of people call it the blue record because it's just a color. Like
right.
And I think about the sound of that record. It definitely makes me think of blue. And I like that it's a color as a feeling in a way. Right.
Right.
It's definitely it's a jazz influenced record. A lot of the samples are jazz or like Spanish, like old school rock records that are sampled in there, and it's a chill mood.
Right.
And that's that blue, but I'm proud of what I did in a way too, because it was like very freeing from like the constraints of like, oh, you're supposed to do something this way, you're supposed to do something that way. I was just me trying shit.
Right.
And it's not perfect from a execution standpoint because it was my first thing. But I still go back to it. I'm like, man, I wish I could do this. I wish I could come into this like fresh again. Right. Sometimes. And at the same time, like I can do that better.
Right. But then again, if you do it again, it
won't be the
sound
same. It'll be a completely different record. And people like, when you remaster stuff, it's always like somebody else come back and it just sounds different.
Right.
Yeah.
It isn't necessarily better. It's just going to be different.
Right.
But that was 2008. That was my first like professionally, like I put this out for money release. That was in 2008. 3 years later was when, Decay, Maintenance Crew, Visto, and then this group called Marmora, who had been doing a lot of the live shows with Maintenance Crew. So they did a couple shows at Northeastern, and this around the Dark Room.
Okay.
And then a lot of like the punk scene. So they met. So they're mutual friends. The guitarist Zaid, who's a part of Machine Wash, they had met, and they're in this like Chicago punk scene or hardcore scene, you could call it. But they were open to Maintenance Crew because they were open to doing DIY type shows. Like, hey, we're gonna throw a show like in someone's basement, and 30 people we're gonna pack this shit to the brim, and we're gonna just rock it.
Right.
Right. Or hey, there's like a little atrium above this like shopping district, and we're gonna just like do this shit at 10 o'clock at night when no one's around. Like it's a real guerrilla show type shit,
right?
Like a rave type show or a DIY type show in a place where anywhere we can put the show at. And they were down to do those kind of things. We're like, hey, we don't want to charge you a lot. We want the kids to come. There's no age limit to come here. Like if you're a kid and you're into this music, we want you to be able to come and see it. And we don't want you to have that 21 or over and have a fake ID or whatever it was. And it was, man, those kids were so much energy. Like, I know people that you go to see a show and everyone's like standing around trying to look cool.
Right.
You don't see that shit when there's people are 15 and 16. They're like, I'm at a concert.
Yeah.
You know, like, holy shit, they got goosebumps. They're just jumping around. Like,
Imagine the amount of kids that you guys influenced.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, I look at our like Spotify numbers and I look at the age demographics, and it's still young kids. Like we're now 20 years removed from the first record they put out. Their first record they put out in 2004. It's 20 years later, and the average age demographic for their streams is like 18 to 24.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Right?
While
Because
we're
them
kind
fuckers
of
stream like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
while we're kind of talking about the sound, you being from North Side of Chicago, Rogers Park, and then you moved to Albany Park. I'm from Albany Park.
Okay.
So
what would you say that how that influenced your sound?
So yeah, I mean, so Maintenance Crew is a Laotian kid, right? Who is a refugee.
Laos.
He came here when he was a young kid in flip flops, right? A Mexican kid who's also he wasn't born here. He's first generation coming here with his family. I had to ask Visto, but I'm pretty sure he's first gen. He might be born here. I have to go check that out. I think he's born here, but they're all like recent immigrants, right? So a Filipino, a Mexican, and a Laos kid. That's pretty much Albany Park. Like if you look at that, if you go to Albany Park, if you go to Albany Park right now, it's like that melting pot, right? And me as a producer, I'm half Mexican. My grandfather is a German Jew. And my dad,
Jew? How does
and
that
my mom's
work?
side is like Danish and I can't even think now. I think Danish. I'm Danish, German, and Mexican. Right.
Wow.
And my dad came here and he was graduated high school. He came here, so I'm on my dad's side, Mexican side. So
that's one of the best things about Albany Park. Like everyone from there has a different perspective on life.
Yeah.
I used to call it the United Nations.
I mean,
it's
like Cambodians, like it's like every part of Asia is there.
Yeah.
And a lot of Eastern Europe is there. South America, like there's really no like one demographic that's like the majority there. It's just a melting pot of people. And I think I looked it up, and I think it's one of the top 10 most diverse neighborhoods in the entire country. Yeah. So and even though we talk about Chicago as being very segregated, Albany Park is not. No. Is absolutely the most melting potty neighborhood you ever lived in. There's still some of the old neighborhood there which was like kind of Orthodox Jewish before. There's still some of them people there too.
They're closer to like Lincoln Park, right?
They move like in all directions. Yeah. And when I grew up in Rogers Park, which is where they are now, and it's gotten more concentrated on the west side of it now. Like when I lived there when I was a kid, it was a little more diverse on the west side, and the west side's kind of like 100% Orthodox Jewish now. Yeah. Like they took over. But my dad still lives on the east side, which is still like heavily Mexican and like Caribbean. So there's a lot of Jamaicans, Haitians over there still.
I'm talking some real deep Chicago shit.
Yeah,
I'm lost like a motherfucker.
No, but the neighborhood really is there's everything there. Like,
Albany Park is still wild with how it still is like you can walk down Lawrence and get all the food.
Every single kind of food you could ever imagine.
Korean, Puerto Rican.
There's Korean tacos.
Yep.
Like it mixes together to like, okay, well you got that. We want me to open a shop together. Like so there's one dude. There's a Korean guy who owns the shopping mall on Kimball across from the Brown Line, like the end Kimball stop. And so he owns the whole strip, but then a Mexican person wanted to open up a taqueria there. He's like, well, we can let's collab. Like he's like, we can make it. It's a kimchi tacos. You know, like you get that like Korean influenced taco fusion thing going on because it's like, hey, I own this. You want to open up a shop? Shoot, we can both get what we want. You know, but you want that the whole strip, you get whatever you want.
Okay.
You gotta speak 10 different languages between that 1 mile between Kimball and Pulaski.
Can I get what I want? I want to talk about Machine Wash Brothers. I don't know how the fuck we ended up doing a whole tour of goddamn Chicago, but all right.
But no, but that's where we were born.
Complexities.
We were born. We were born there. And so for a few years, 5 of us lived in the same area. Visto lived there. I lived there. Shantala lived just outside of it on Mayfair. So technically he lives in Mayfair, which is like the block over
Here we go
on
again.
Pulaski. But man, I feel like Chicago is like, hey, what neighborhood do you live in?
Yep.
Like it's all, whatever. But he lives like just outside of Albany Park on Mayfair, one block over. Daryl was there on Drake and Argyle. I was on Central Park in Carmen. And Diego was a little bit further over in Jeff Park, but just on Foster. So
Even here, the street names
we
make me smile.
were all within
This
like
is wait a minute, because I'm sitting over here. You're naming off streets.
Yeah.
He goes up and he's like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Like in his mind, and she's over there like, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
like, imagine if somebody
Come
was
on,
talking
man.
about.
Damn, I don't know where none of that shit is.
So what? I do. So if somebody was
Alright.
talking about a fucking street in Switzerland or whatever that you used to chill on.
I know it.
Right, exactly.
Okay, but we're not talking about that right now.
oh, you know
I wanna
what?
set him on fire sometimes.
See,
Let me tell you this: if you were going to go to New York and you went to Lexington Ave, you'd be like, "Oh, my Lexington," because you heard that
He
shit
used to
so
live in
many
New York.
times in a
New
ride,
York.
right? No, but I'm saying like when I visited New York, I'm like, "Oh shit, this is like 110th Street from that song."
I'm sure I would do that at least 8,000 times. Oh my God.
remind me never to take you to New York, then. Ever.
I was totally doing that shit though. I was like, "Oh, this is the song that Fife was talking about."
I can
This was
remind me
the
never to
corner.
take you to New York.
He's like,
So I
is
was like,
this-
I don't
is
want to walk around with
Shaolin?
tourists. I
Is
don't
this
want to walk
the-
around with no
Yeah.
fucking
I'm in
tourists.
Shaolin.
Everybody getting robbed.
Yeah, shit.
Like, yeah, if you ever went to a corner from a rap song, you better be strapped.
Yeah.
And I want a I Love New York t-shirt.
I can't.
And I want to
No,
wear
but I think Chicago MC should talk more about like exactly where they're from, like exactly. Like
Yeah.
I'm from, because ECL used to do this shit all the time, like back on the corner. Like he was telling you exactly where this shit happened. Like he was being a documentarian, and I don't think a lot of people do that shit here. Like they don't say exactly where this shit happened. You don't gotta say names, but I saw some
they
shit
do
go
it.
down
Drill
on
rappers
this
do
corner.
it.
You know, like yeah.
Drill rappers do it all.
Oh
day long.
yeah. They started doing it lately.
They
but-
want you to go over.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
come
sure-
see me. Come see
invited
me
you.
at 82. No.
I'm pretty sure I was
Pull
on
up.
Lawrence
Yeah.
when he sold me he was like selling his mixtape. And I was standing on Lawrence and
You doing that story again?
Bell Plain and what was it? Bell Plain and it's a Halstead. Halstead. Yeah.
Here we go
The
with
park
the
right there.
fucking
Yeah,
streets.
the park. Anyway, what I was saying is that we all live like about 5, 10, not even 5. We talk about how far away you live in Chicago by how long it takes you to get there, but not how far away in distance, but
Yeah.
how long in time.
because nobody knows.
So we were all about 5 to 10 minutes away from each other, very quick. I would get home from my day job, which was at night, at like 11 o'clock, and be like, they'd be waiting for me outside, like, hey, let's go record right now. I'm like, hey, I'm off tomorrow, or I'm gonna work till again at night. I work the night shift, in succession. So I'm like, okay, we'll stay up late and we're gonna record a couple of songs tonight.
Right.
I get home at 11:30, and then we would start recording at like 12.
Yeah.
And we do a couple of songs to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Now he's talking
And,
my language.
You know what I mean? Like that's that life, man. Like that's that you're really hungry to do this shit life. Like
Nice.
Yeah.
you make sacrifices like
Yeah.
that, where I'm coming home and like I'm tired as fuck from work,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get get some sips in here, and let me get
the juices
get it
flowing.
in, juice flowing. All right, let's do it. And we would sit around and write for a little bit, and then record it, and then we got a couple in the bag, and then do that shit again next day.
I
But that
understand
was the 08, that was the 07, 08 time period, that first album.
You see, look
And
at
man,
what you've started.
Yeah.
What do you think literally motivated you to keep that type of momentum up?
Honestly, for them, like, I thought that they were something special. Like I'd be like sitting there recording it, and I was like, damn, what the fuck are these guys? Like I was definitely in awe of them at the time. Like I thought they had some like, I was 100% invested in their music. To the point where like, yeah, I'll do this for free. I'm gonna give you some money and we're gonna put this shit out. Like, so I ended up giving them like part of my like, I get like a reimbursement from work to get like my college paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that cash and like we did 1,000 CDs instead. Like I'm like, take some of the money and like we're gonna just do the real shit. Like you can do duplication and it costs like $5 a CD. But if you do 1,000, it costs $1 a piece because they do that the glass master.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, why don't you we should be able to sell these. There's like I think we should be able to get them out there. I introduced them to getting it on streaming at the time. It was like very early streaming.
Right.
Like this is like 07, 08 when iTunes was just, it wasn't even streaming. It was just like getting it on iTunes.
Getting it on iTunes.
Yeah.
And
So-
you had to, there was a lot of gatekeepers on that shit too. Yeah. You
So
had
I
to
found a
really
distributor to do that.
Right.
And all that. I was
Who'd
like,
you use?
I think it was TuneCore. It was like when it was like early days of like TuneCore.
Yeah.
And then we actually, because there was no streaming and because that brought in the reach to worldwide, that was a wild thing to be like, hey, I think people in France would like your music because you have like a jazzy sound. And I know jazzy hip hop is very popular in France.
Right.
And Germany and Europe in general, but like those two countries especially. And then also I think, hey, you're Laotian. I think Laos might like this. And yeah, check it out. It lit up. Like we sold hundreds of copies in those countries. Name unknown. He said he had sent he found one dude, another hip hop artist had found them, and from another French hip hop artist. He bought like 10 CDs to like sell over there. I was like, if someone reached out to you to do that over the internet back in like 05 when it was like, hey man, I want can you send me 10 CDs? I will sell them, like no problem. I'm like, I guarantee you we're gonna make some money if we can get a worldwide distribution.
Very
was like
familiar with that.
It was like right away, like boom.
Yeah.
Like they saw it, they ate it up. And I was like, it was a wild, but it's also still a wild feeling to be like, I have confirmation here that Germany, France, they want our music.
Right.
And we have never been there. You know, it's kind of a wild feeling back then.
Yeah, that was and I mean, they say the internet's the wild, wild west right now, but that was really a wild time, like because you could really do some shit, and like if you did your due diligence, you know what I mean, because there was a lot of gatekeepers because it was kind of like secretive, you know what I mean, like to get on iTunes, to get distribution, to get all of those things, you had to really go down a rabbit hole. Kind of be like on the internet and find out how to get it, how to do all of these things, get that shit, get it put on fucking iTunes and everything. I did that shit too. I put out when I first moved to Chicago, I put out an album in 2007 with my boy Avarice. Shout out to Avarice. It's called Evidence of Things Unseen, and I had to go through a crazy rabbit hole to get that out and get distribution and all that shit. But that was a wild time. That was a really wild time. And that was like right when Twitter first came out too. I didn't even understand that shit. I was like, what the fuck? He's gonna.
It was still MySpace days.
Yeah, MySpace. That's how I met a lot of people. Yeah. You know, and a lot of different places on MySpace.
I really can't remember what we did on MySpace. Like I just can't. Like
I feel, but music, like
man, but it was a music focused.
Facebook.
I feel like it was a music focused platform though, because you're able to like you had your like you were able to play a playlist of music. Yeah. They had an artist page for you, like if you were an artist. Yeah. And then that really helped us out back then, where it's like you basically had a whole website, and then people would come to your site and like check out your music, and you would get plays on YouTube because you could embed a YouTube. Yeah. Man, YouTube used to be like way more organic back then.
Yeah.
Like, you could easily post a YouTube video and people would actually see it. Versus as now, like
before there was an algorithm.
Yeah, before there was an algorithm, like you put that shit on Facebook now, like 2 people see that shit because Facebook's like, if you don't put that shit on our platform, no one gets to see that shit. You pay us,
right?
You know, you post it on Facebook, they can see it, but if you post a YouTube link, they ain't gonna no one's gonna see that.
Speaking of, if you're watching this on Facebook, get your ass over to YouTube and like and subscribe, and shout out to everybody on Rumble watching. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to all of our YouTube people out there. Hit the like and subscribe and that notification. Help us grow and push the culture forward. Yeah. Those were some wild times. I put out a shit ton of music on MySpace and like I was one of the first ones to get like a million views. But the thing is that like I had no clue how to monetize that shit at the time. If I had the knowledge I have now, shit, well, we wouldn't be sitting. I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know. I'd be in France somewhere sipping a goddamn drink, some wine, and saying, fuck all y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Even though
I didn't know you, I'm gonna be saying, fuck them motherfuckers I might have met.
Fuck all the peasants.
Fuck them motherfuckers I might have met.
Fuck everybody I might have met.
Bars.
Yeah.
Yes.
For real. Like, but it was a different time back then. So take us to how Machine Wash Records starts.
So so I do 2 albums with Maintenance Crew. I do an album that never got released with Selfish, and I'm really sad about that. If you don't know who Selfish is, he was part of Green Llamas. If you know who Green Llamas are, that's like a world U.S. group that met over the internet. So they're from Detroit. They're from New Jersey, Ohio, Chicago. But they were internet, like they met over the line. They met online through this guy named Fluent, who was a producer who made these like very dirty beats. And like if you think about Jay Dilla, it's definitely in that vein, but even like dirtier than that.
Ooh.
Like you run it through a tape machine and just crush the shit out of the song. When the drums get so muddied up with the rest of the stuff, and it just gets to this like grimy time thing, right?
They have
it's
no idea
definitely
what you're talking about.
super duper lo-fi. I would say if you think about lo-fi beats to study
No,
to,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah. I mean,
I'm
if you're,
saying, she's lost. Look at her.
I'm not sure what he's talking about. But carry on.
I mean, do you know about lo-fi? Yes. Okay, so if you don't know any other stuff, I'm saying like lo-fi beats. It's definitely in that vein of things. But he got into the point where like it definitely sounded like you were crushing the thing into a tape. And if you ever heard that, like you recorded something on tape that it was too loud,
yeah,
it's kind of like that, but without the distortion. But he would run the whole thing back into it. Like let's say you recorded the album with the vocals, and he would run that back into that, right, to crush it some more. It was a sound. It was definitely a thing, and that was his thing from Green Llamas. But 2 of them lived in Chicago. Selfish definitely got some fame doing production here. Was in a few battles, beat battles that we had. There was like a few that were going around at the time. But I think as an MC, he surprised me and our friends too as well. Like he wasn't. He's one of those people where like he was producer forward, and then like started to rhyme, and you're like, yeah, maybe you're just a producer, and then he did an album, and you're like, holy shit, damn, maybe you're not just a producer,
very Kanye-ish.
Yeah, very. Well,
in the beginning, in the very, 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 very beginning.
Does Kanye write though?
I don't know.
I don't think he does. I don't think
he doesn't even really produce. Like he's got
not anymore.
A stable.
Yeah, he used to produce.
The general gist
they
of
bring
his
the ideas to him.
Conception to the popular.
I think he's more of a Diamond D. Okay. Because Diamond D actually does both of the things he does that he puts his name on.
Yeah. Well, a lot of producers do that. Or Dr. Dre. I
mean, Dre is more of a Kanye. I think Dre, because Dre,
same
but
shit.
I don't think Dre ever is like, I'm the shit. I'm the best MC ever. Like he's just like, yeah, I can rap, but I don't know how to write.
And he uses all his resources.
Right. And I think Dre has a good flow and all that, but no one he's never said I'm the best MC ever.
And he should not.
And he should never ever say that. Because he knows that the DOC is the best MC ever. Right. So it's like, and I think Kanye should probably say, man, Rhyme Fest, and
if it wasn't for Rhyme
Fest, yeah. So
that sentence,
because Rhyme Fest should be in his mouth all the time,
right?
And he's not, and he should be, because let's be
shout out to Rhyme Fest,
facts, right?
Yeah.
Consequence should be in his mouth all the time, because also facts.
Shout out to Consequence.
His first 3 albums wouldn't have happened without those 2 people, right?
No ID as well.
Yeah, no ID. But Selfish is a self-made man in both aspects, right? So I think he surprised some of his friends by just, he was very like laid back about that part of him until you like, hey, I got all this stuff, and then you come out and record it and like, damn, that okay. But man, I'll digress again, because I'm on another tangent because I know too many people. But the second album, he recorded a whole second album that the internet would probably, if they catch this, will be very sad to know that it's never coming out.
Why?
But he decided he didn't want to put it out.
God damn it!
It's just, it was a little bit personal, I think, and I think he had.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah, it was the best stuff, man. And that's why it's like, man, I really wish you would just like let it go and let it be said that, hey, you used to be here and you don't have to be there anymore.
Right.
But I think he feels like, yeah, I moved on from those feelings, and I don't want to put those feelings out there and present myself that way right now.
Come on, man, get out your head.
But it's like, man, you did a fucking amazing job of expressing that.
But people deal with things how they deal with them.
Yeah, and I think that, I think as artists, sometimes it's just it's therapy, right?
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And they're like, well, you know what? That was just for me and you. and that's it now.
Well, good for you for respecting the boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't leaked a thing, and I never will unless somebody tells me that it's okay.
It's okay.
You know? Yeah, but
You
I'm
said
not.
if somebody tells you, I'm telling you, it's okay. It's okay. Do it.
I got some. I mean, if Doe tells me I got some things, I'm like, hey, put it out. You know, like he's put it out, like unofficial. I could do it, but it is what it is. I can't. I want to do it.
All right, mad respect.
I got respect for the guy still. I haven't seen him in a while, but I got respect for him. I won't do that.
Somewhere right now,
But man, I guarantee
he's
you,
thinking right now.
Yeah.
Somewhere he's going, man. I wish he would just fucking release it already.
Sometimes I think people maybe need that push.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I go back to him right now. Like, hey, can you put it out? Because I think you should put it out.
Yeah, do it. He's probably sitting around waiting on you. He's like, I wonder where Alex is, man. He hasn't fucking called me. You know, I want to drop that shit.
If he forgot, he said he didn't want to. What the fuck you mean you didn't put it out yet? I
Like,
told you to do
what?
that
I've been
a
waiting
couple weeks ago.
all this fucking time.
But man, I know there's some heads on the llamas that they're like, man, that fucking first album was dope. The fuck, where's the second album? They're supposed to put out shit.
All right, so let's get to Machine Watch.
Okay, so
Music.
so all that. 2011. All of us have been a little bit circling around my studio. There's satellites, right?
Right.
They worked together. They worked around me, and we all said it was New Year's, like the day after New Year's, like the 2nd, and we're all sitting there recovering from our hangovers, and we're like, man, why don't we just do this together? Like, why are we doing this separately? We have a home base here in my studio, and we can like pull our resources, and like we have a little bit of money from what we've done.
Were you guys high or drunk?
No, I mean we were hung. I was saying we were like recovering from the other shit that happens.
Right. But usually that's when a lot of great ideas happen. When you have that many creative people and you're constantly working together, somebody's bound to say, "Hey man, what the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely one of those like. I mean, we were drinking, but none of us were like drunk at that point because it was like we were sipping because it was already New Year's was the we can't like do it again. So we were just sitting there like we may have had a few beers of. Zaid probably was high because he's never not high. But hey Zaid,
I know a few of those.
Yeah, he's a 24/7 dude. But like other than that, like I think we were all like pretty much clear out about it, and it was more of like, why aren't we already doing this? Like like we already worked together most of the time. We were here a lot where we were
You guys
at.
are already doing every damn thing a label does.
Mm-hmm. So why not just put the imprint together? Make it an imprint, and then you have a brand.
Right.
And the brand is I was always saying, like, even if we don't do anything different, the brand is going to be a powerful thing and say, hey, if you like that, you might like this because we do it. We're in the same group. We all think alike. We have the same taste. So if you like the Maintenance Crew, you might like X, you might like, B, because we all have the same thoughts and we think about music the same way. So why not check them out? And then it's the same thing. Like, you're a Wu-Tang person. You like the Jizza, you might like the RZA.
Right.
And
Got you.
So put that Wu-Tang logo on everything. And that's the Wu-Tang shit. Yeah, I like that other Wu-Tang shit. I probably like this Wu-Tang shit.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's all, and that's all the Wu-Tang thing was like it was a
Branding,
to put them on everything, and it fucking worked.
It fucking worked.
Yeah, and they're able to get a bunch of other affiliate things going on. It was great. You got Killer Army and other people out in there because that Wu
They
was
have a
so
fucking
strong.
legion.
Yeah,
A fucking legion. Yeah.
If I can get like 10 people, the original Wu-Tang number, like that'd be fine. I would get 10. But like that was the 90s kind of blew that shit up a little bit. But like I think that in a smaller sense, if you actually are pure to the idea of it, it's a powerful thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think I look at mellow music, I look at Stone's Throw,
Right.
and I see that there's definitely a curation of music going on there. And I trust that if you liked one of these people, you probably should at least check out another artist coming out
If you
from that
fuck
label.
with anything on Stone's Throw, you'll probably fuck with everything on Stone's Throw.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you should at least check it out because you're like, this is a person I trust. The tastemaker on that label, I trust that dude at least to give me something quality.
Right.
And then the vein that I like. Right. Yeah. So that's why whatever thing, Def Jux, fucking Ramstairs, whatever, Molman, that's the same thing. They were a collective of producers. Or even like, man, if you look further back, and what I found out about was like Motown, Stax,
Yeah.
Those were like one band.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really one band making
Yeah.
all that music.
Literally.
And that's why you're like, oh man, I like Al Green. Why don't I check out Isaac Hayes? Yeah, same band. You know, like, yeah, it's like, that it was.
Yeah, it literally was.
Yeah,
They
the
had a
same
studio
band.
in
Yeah.
there.
And Peebles, same band as Al Green.
I think also around like that time, it kind of made when you thought somebody was cool, they were cool for their authenticity instead of like, oh, he's always flashing money or he's got 43 chains or whatever. Like
Right.
they were cool because of whatever kind of creativity oozed out of them, you know?
Mhm.
And they kind of, I don't know, like I feel like they were selling us the artists without the gimmicks. You know what I mean?
Oh, there was a lot of gimmick with it.
Oh,
But
so
it felt more authentic. Is what
let
I'm
me
saying.
let me tell you why it's called Machine Wash. Machine Wash music. So there was a line in one of the songs that was like simple in the approach, complex on the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the label reads Machine Wash only. That was something Ubiquity said, and it was like, man, why don't we just call it Machine Wash? And I was like, Machine Wash only. Like that's like I identify with that vibe.
Right.
Like that's the thing. Like we're not dry clean clothes. Like
Right.
dry clean clothes are fancy clothes that you have to be sedity with. Oh, you have to handle them gently. You have to take them to the cleaners. You can't just wash it in your fucking washing machine at home. You can't just scrub it. Like so, the music isn't sedity. It's not complex. It's not, there's not like 93 producers in the shit with 10 writers, and it has to have 93 tracks.
Right.
Like it's a sample. There's a drum loop maybe. Most stuff we made, it wasn't more than like, if there was 10 tracks, it was probably because there was 3 vocals for each MC. Like we had like the main, the dub, and the ad-libs, right?
Right.
And that's because they had more than one person on there. The most complex song I ever wrote with them was because they had 5 people on it. But the beat was just one, it was a 2-track. And I did some filtering and editing on it, but like that was probably the most complex song. That was, man, I gotta tell you that we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Let's
we'll
come back.
that. We'll come back.
Back to that song. But like that was the most complex song we ever did, and that was because it was 5 MCs, not because there was 93 tracks on the fucking beat. You know,
Right. I
like
get it.
I heard a story about Nas and Damian Marley's song that was 128 tracks.
Jesus.
I was like,
fucking
what?
Christ.
This is an overproduced song.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need 128 tracks?
Yeah. Why?
Like, what the fuck?
What is on that? It is 120.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, and I was like, that's an overly complicated song to me, right? And we were just coming at it with like, you don't need to do all that to make a good song.
Sometimes the most simplest things are the most complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's speaking of music. Let's get into some of that.
All right.
Some of that Machine Wash music right now. Tell us what you want us to hear first.
So let me tell you, I'll just like intro into this is that, so our first non-collective artist that we brought in was Encyclopedia Brown.
Shout out Encyclopedia Brown.
Yes. And that's why we're talking about him tonight. He was the first person that we brought outside of our main group that we were recording with originally. He was our first artist that we brought in as like, hey, so some of us are getting older. Some of us were like, we're not doing music ourselves anymore, but we want to encourage other people who maybe have had, didn't have the platform, or maybe were newer artists and needed to be brought up and like taught the ropes, or just needed the money to put the thing out,
Right.
or the studio. And I provided the studio space. 2 of us provided the artwork and production stuff, and there was someone else going around doing like the A&R and like the promotional things, right? So he was our first non-collective artist that came out, and we did the first Essentials album with him with Kenny Keys. And
Shout out Kenny Keys.
Yep. And so we're about to play something from him that's unreleased that would have been part of the 3rd album, I believe. And man, Brown, we see you.
Shout out.
Salute.
What's the first song we're gonna hear?
What we got? What's up?
He's got him over there.
Okay.
What's the first one on the list over there? Born to Love.
Born to Love.
Run it. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah. Not with the main volume, but with this. Yeah.
Don't try to hide. We were supposed to love you. Afraid I know you are. I try to stop shooting star, but I fly see who you are.
Yeah.
Brown eyes, to be like a bumper car. I was born to love you. Born to love you. Tell me how we get to this place here. Lovers have no fear. Waiting to be made. We were supposed to be in love. I was born to love you. Born to trust the way.
Yeah. It goes. Yeah. So this is the unfinished song.
Trust the way.
I wasn't.
That's just the way.
I want
That's the way.
this is open.
That's just the way. Don't try too hard. You got to let it go. Let the feeling flow.
Punching, kicking.
Have no control.
This is the way it goes.
Just wanna be close. Babe, I hear you talk to me.
Okay, so you were talking about, you know, 2 tracks versus 799 tracks. Now, obviously I know a lot about music, but the actual like production and all that, whatever. So, explain what the fuck that means, and this particular song that we're listening to. How many is that?
So, I mean, you have to ask Kenny on this one. I don't know what he worked with, but what I got was a 2-track. And I think it depends on the producer for sure, 100%, like what they give you. But I will definitely ask, like, hey, don't clip. Like, give it to me at a level that I can work with it.
Right.
If it's already too loud, I can't put the MC on top of that, right? And I think Kenny's an experienced person where he definitely thinks about, is this part gonna be someone who's rapping over this part, or is this like is gonna be open and leave it as is? And there's Brown right there, but like, you want, all right, yeah, play that.
Your style and your smile made me weaker. I wanna be in touch. Tell me, how can I reach you? Trying to hold you. You look like a keeper. I mean, you're quite the catch. I wanna be the receiver. Give me your real love, not some IG diva. I see a match made. Take my hand, don't be afraid. We can level up and take it to the next stage. You can be my queen depending how the cards play. No games here. My loving's not an arcade. I wanna find your soft spot after a hard day. We can Netflix and chill, poke and parlay. Cliche maybe, but it can still happen. Stunt doubles in trouble, I got real action. Satisfaction with the highest degree of passion. No rookie, all mad and rose petal satin. Damn, it feels like I loved you in a past life. And I return to you now that the time's right. But sometimes my timing isn't time right. Should've seen the ring on your finger in hindsight. Moving fast, but I'm still too slow. What I once already taken, I suppose that's just the way. There we go.
It's like almost, I don't know how many perfect rap songs, one verse song there are, but it might be that. So I again, fire. I gotta say again, how I felt about Maintenance Crew, I feel the same way about Kenny and Brown, where like I'm upset that they are more famous.
Right.
Like I listen to them and I'm listening to what's on the radio and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you know
Isn't
what I
that
mean?
like hip hop in general? Like you hear some shit and you'll be like, why in the fuck aren't they playing this?
I'm not even saying like they gotta be like Jay-Z famous. I think they should be at least like, I don't know, Murs famous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they don't even gotta be like top 40. Like I think they should be blue collar famous at least to be able to tour the country and
People
shit.
should know about that.
People should know about that. I think they should be nationally known.
Well, the
at
Grammys
the very
got
least.
the contemporary hip hop fucking shit.
Yeah,
now.
I think
How
adult,
you feel about that?
adult contemporary.
Yeah, hip hop. Yeah,
We should. You know what? Like there's
that opens the door.
for sure. How many genres of rock are there? Like 20? I don't even know how many there are, but there's definitely like at least 10.
Right.
Light rock, metal, punk. I mean, grunge, alternative. I mean, I think there's at least. I think you could at least put hip hop in a 3,
Right.
right? Like at least 3. Like, you got like, you could say like modern hip hop, adult contemporary. You might call that like old school, whatever the fuck you gonna call that.
I think it's adult contemporary.
Adult
is like
contemporary.
a bullshit ass name.
I mean, adult contemporary. There's adult contemporary, like just general. There's adult contemporary music.
Right.
Is a
That's what it
genre,
would translate to in all the other genres.
right? So there, it's already whatever you want to call that, but the general idea is adult contemporary. Like people used to our age, maybe, or not even our age. The sound is like, because now there's like new soul right now, right?
Right.
There's 19-year-old kids making soul music that sounds like it's from 1960,
Yeah.
right?
It's some fire ass shit.
And
too.
it's so good. It's so
Sacred Souls.
shout
Man.
out,
Damn.
shout out to Coal Mine Records and what's the other one? Big Crown.
Big Crown. Yeah.
Both of them are making fire shit. There should be like hip hop labels doing the same thing, and I
Right.
think there
I
already
agree.
is because it's we are kind of doing that shit.
Yeah.
So
Right.
There you go.
Right.
the aesthetic hasn't left us. It's still there. It needs to be found again.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
more
agree.
than what it is. It's not that it's just not. There's no lane from a promotional standpoint. Like, where am I supposed to go with this to show it to people?
I tell people all the time,
Yeah.
there's like there's a $1 billion market of a generation of people who only want to hear like golden era style hip hop
Mhm.
or newer version of.
Mhm.
Because I have friends that they hate shit so much new they refuse to listen to anything that is not from like 85 to like 90 fucking 8.
So I would say Nas, what was it on the Green Dress album? What was that called?
Nas?
Oh shit! What the fuck?
The
was that
Green Dress
called?
album.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
But he's like, this is for my stuck in the 90s, like, right? So he was like, yeah, you guys, you wanted this shit. You were listening to my other stuff. You didn't like it. Well, here's 2 songs that kind of sound like my old shit.
Right. Well, I mean, shit. What was it? King's Disease is
Yeah.
dope. Like,
Well, I mean,
it's Nas. It's Nas, man.
I mean that sometimes happens with him because like either people don't like the beats he chooses or
that's been an ongoing theme.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, but that one album, God
I
damn
think
it,
somebody should just
it was the
redo his whole catalog. Just keep all the vocals and just
Hey.
put them on beats. And
God's Stepson was a stroke of genius because it was like, hey, you don't know how to pick beats. Let me just redo your shit.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think, you know what? I think is what should happen. Cormega should go back and check out entire Nas catalog and redo the whole thing. And like, I can pick better beats for you, and I'll go find producers. Maybe they're unknown people.
Right.
They don't gotta be famous producers. They just gotta be better than the people you picked.
Yeah.
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 Like everything past Illmatic or not Illmatic. What was it? Shit. Not. It was written. It was written. Trackmasters actually, in retrospect,
I wasn't mad at most
I'm not.
of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not, it's not the word. It's not a bad album actually. It's actually pretty good. There are some bad songs on it.
Yeah.
The Dre album, the Dre song is fucking horrible.
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't
Yeah.
fit anymore.
Yeah.
It never did really.
Yeah.
Shout out
And-
to Kahari.
Hello.
Sorry,
Yeah,
bro.
we're still on, bro. What do you mean?
That is rude.
They shouldn't have done that. And then actually the Mobb Deep song doesn't fit either. And it was just weird because you think that would have fit, but it's like it's a little too Mobb Deep.
mafioso
It's
shit.
too mafioso. That whole mafioso shit, that was a bad look. Yeah,
It was a time. It was a time.
It was a bad
It was
look.
a time.
But yeah, I think Cormega picks way better beats for himself. And he's probably. I think most people would say he's not as good as Nas, but I think he's still good. Like I think he's a very good MC. But Nas has something about his written game is good, but he picks horrible beats.
And I thought that I was the only person that felt like that because I never really said it out loud until I was grown, you know. But like, kind of makes me feel better about. Because I thought it was just.
He's like, oh, but it's not. You can't talk about him like that. Like, yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. But no, but I'm saying like I think that like if there's any artists that I've worked with that I feel like they should be bigger than they are, it's Maintenance Crew and Kenny and Brown. Like they have a special connection that they've made fucking crazy music that I think I could give it to a label right now, like re-release it right now, and I guarantee you, if you can just get it to people's ears, it'll be a thing. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna blow up like Jay-Z, but I think they could have a real career. You know, sell like, you know, 200,000-300,000 records. Like it don't get, and I remember like back in the early days of hip hop, like going gold was like
a thing.
Holy shit,
thing.
you were a fucking god. And going like Gangstar never only went gold. And it's like that was and then people are like, oh, you only sold 500,000 records. You didn't do shit.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, you suck.
That
like,
diamond shit killed it.
I'm saying, like, man, but most people who think we have classics, they never got anything. Digital Planets never sold that many records. Common didn't sell many records until Water for Chocolate.
Water for Chocolate.
And then then retroactively, I can't think now.
It's snowball effect, man.
Yeah, it went. His older stuff got sold after the fact, right? KRS-One, same thing. Like his older shit didn't sell like that until after he got gold on a new record, and then people went back to check out his old shit until after Boom Bap, until KRS-One. He sold his first record, yeah. And then he had one big record. I don't even know if he went platinum off of I Got Next. That was probably his biggest record ever. KRS-One's a legend.
Yeah, for real.
And how many records has he sold? Collectively,
maybe a million, couple million.
No, collectively a few million. Yeah. But like on any one album, he's only gone gold a few times, maybe a few times.
He's practically a hip hop household name, really.
Everyone's like, yeah, I respect that dude for sure, 100%. Like he's got like 30 records. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't argue with that. They may not sold, but shit.
His output is legendary at this point because I mean 86 to now is 40 years of like almost every year a record.
Yeah,
almost every year.
That's some dope shit.
That dude is still. I mean, you probably haven't heard the shit in the. I mean, I'm ahead, and I have to admit that I fell off in the teens where I wasn't checking for him every single time,
right?
Because there was so much output, and I was like, man, I was getting bombarded by all this new stuff. But like, I'll go back like, did I miss some stuff? And I'll go back and see what was the most like most of the stuff of him. But like, he is still putting out a record almost every year.
Yeah, to this
right
day.
now, like right now, go check out KRS-One and on Spotify or whatever and see how many records he's got. He's fucking still doing it.
Let's get into that.
That's
second
wild. That's
machine
fucking
wash.
wild. But yeah, another one.
Another one. Another one. Let's go.
The words I have to say.
There's another one.
Another one. The words I have to say. The words I have to say.
Architecture when it comes to lectures makes me overall the best professor that should be sequestered. Verbal flexor, the vocab prowess that I have is better, unanimously fresher. Mercy's an unknown gesture, so apathy from your majesty's an awaiting travesty. I rape your mind with these lines telepathically. What a travesty, I serve more herbs than Andre Agassi, with an ability that comes naturally. Actually, I practice my now master tactics with graphic tenacity. My spit is grand, so my fans become stands happily. Dastardly, I dictate on bricks at low bit rates. Science that like zombies on a diet make you dead weight. I shred greats, just believe you can check my history. Those with the gall to brawl fall and become unsolved mysteries. I know it troubles you, how my W's come instantly, because I vividly acquire my victories viciously. Cause see,
The words I have to say. The words I have to say.
I'm saying this is the best one for a song I've ever heard. Because like Kenny fills it in so well. Like it doesn't even sound like it's supposed to be,
No,
right? Like it just
there's nothing wrong
right.
with
There's
this
nothing
shit.
wrong with it, right? Like yeah, man. I was so torn.
Just put it on like a-
Yeah, I was so torn. I was so torn. Cause I ended like, yeah, I gotta put more like traditional stuff. So torn.
This is what this fucking show is all about.
And this is the show we
It's the fucking vibe. I almost started rapping.
call. Oh,
The way you sat up. That's why I leaned back like, oh shit, it's about to happen.
that's my question.
This shit's fire.
You could fade it out. You could fade it out.
Fade it out. Hey, shout out to Kahari. Hey, Kahari, you in town? Let me know.
Man, so that's my thing, man. I feel like if you listen to that and you don't feel like those people are special,
Yeah. for sure.
I'm sitting there. The first time you listen to that, you're like, damn, I got goosebumps, man. Like these people are fucking crazy. And I feel like I have a responsibility to put this shit out, and also like a responsibility to like make this shit sound as good as it possibly can sound, but also not to change it too much.
Right.
So like I'm definitely not a person that goes in there like I'm gonna go and make it sound better. Like no, I'm just gonna make it sound good. Right. I don't want it to go in there and like surgically remove anything that was like the sound of the song.
Right.
So I sometimes don't do a lot because I feel like, yeah, there's not much to do. Kenny gives me beats and they're like pretty much done. Like I don't think I have to do so much. He's given me tracked out stuff and it's not 128 tracks, but it's, there's the snares, the drums are separated and there's the sample and other stuff in there. But I kind of given that when we were working with it, it was Brown's production. He was in charge to say, hey, I'm gonna do something here. I have a plan for drop that out here, drop the drums out here, whatever it was. But I wasn't in charge of that. That was
He said
me.
that's fire old man shit.
I wasn't trying to do too much. Like it was more like at that point I was just a tool, and he was in the driver's seat, right? So I was not. It depends. Like I don't like try to drive unless they don't have an idea, right? If they don't have an idea, then I'm like, okay, well, I think we could do this, but I still won't do it unless they think it's a good idea. But I might show them, hey, here's how it might sound, but I'm not going to tell you that it has to sound that way. Right.
Yeah. And as long as they're like open to ideas and open to being creative like that, because when you're recording and doing shit, nothing's written in stone. So like run with the idea, see how it sounds. If it works, it works. Beautiful. Great idea. Alex, fucking great. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't work, then you look at Alex and you go, I fucking told you, man. And you go back, you know what I'm saying? And you go put it back the way it was. Yeah. No harm, no foul.
For sure. But it's funny because like DiBiase, another guy who's a Green Llama. So I think we worked with him a little bit, and at some point he was talking shit about some producer or some engineer. Not me, but some other engineer. Of course not.
Of course not.
Some other engineer.
Not me.
And as somebody who makes like, I think it's more common with people who make those like dirty beats, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, I want to make this shit fucking sound disgusting and muddy it up and fuck it up. And then you try to rap over it, and I can't hear the fucking MC at all.
Right.
It's like it's too much. It's too much fucked up. So then the engineer has to go in there and clean it up a little bit.
Or
And
the
then-
best you can.
the
if
best
it's
you
not
can.
tracked out.
Right. If it's not tracked out, then you have to like, well, there's things you can do and how much you want to like surgically remove things, whatever it is. But like, I try not to fuck up the idea of what he was doing too much with at least making the MC intelligible. Right. And sometimes it still sounds crazy loud and fucked up. And I'm just trying to be able to somewhat hear what the guy is saying. But I think as a child of the 80s and 90s MC stuff, there's a lot of those records that were fucking horribly recorded. Like most of them were badly recorded. And it's the whole punk scene in the 80s and the old hip hop scene of the 80s where it was like you're going to these they were not paying the engineer much, like here's $50 and can you record me?
Record
it's
this
gonna
shit,
crack
mix
in.
that shit and hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. So like and we got used to that sound.
And they were using styles of like recording rock artists and shit. And this is before rap became
they didn't even know what the style was, how it's supposed to sound. Right.
Engineer it and everything.
There was no rules back then. Right. So you might go listen to old BDP record and it sounds really like warm and you can't really. It's not intelligible so much, but it sounds really sparse because like BDP records were like a drum machine and one sample, you know.
Right.
But then you go listen to Tribe Called Quest early records and there's a lot of shit going on. And but Bob Power was like, let me fucking surgically remove all this shit. And then Midnight Marauders comes along and then he's like, stop cleaning it up.
Right.
And you start hearing all the hiss and the crackle. And that was like, oh man, I think I like Midnight Marauders more than anything else that Travis put out because it's dirty and it just sounds more alive,
and
right?
There's a whole lot of Dilla in there.
I'm 100% a Midnight Marauders Tribe Quest person. Like, yeah, I like the older records, but Midnight Marauders is my like.
It changed when they brought Dilla on board.
Yeah, it's Dilla, and it's also telling Bob to stop cleaning the records up.
Right.
It's the dirtiness of it, but it's like dirty clean in a way because it sounds so bright and like alive, but it's not and crispy. Yeah, those snares are, and there's all that hissy shit in the background, right? I love that. I love that shit. I think the mistakes are what makes things good. A lot of times, I don't edit the vocals that much. I edit vocals where it's distracting, right? You took too loud of a breath. It's that kind of shit. But if you're just breathing, I leave it in there. I might lower it a little bit, but I don't get rid of it because it's human. It's you have to breathe.
I engineered a song once and they wanted all of the breathing out.
Yeah.
And when I got done taking every little everything, it didn't sound right. They loved it.
Yeah.
But like for my ears, I was like,
it don't sound natural anymore. It sounds like a robot's.
It sounded like
I'm just curious. Did you let them hear it with it in there?
Yeah. I mean, they intentionally, like, after I had already mixed and engineered it, mastered it, everything, they're like, no, man, you got to take all the breaths out. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Yeah, all of them. We don't want no breaths in that at all. And I was like, I don't think that's a good idea. And they're like, yeah, we just do it. Well, they were paying me, so I was like, fuck, all right. I went through that bitch with a fine-tooth comb. You couldn't hear that motherfucker breathing for shit.
I would just say, go listen to a Big Pun record and see how many are in those.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, but I mean, when you take all that shit out,
it's part of the energy of Big Pun. Like he's a big dude. He's got those breaths in there.
Yeah.
There are some of the. I guarantee you, they lowered them down. They weren't that loud in the recording. They were louder for sure.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
They were definitely louder, but you got to leave them in there a little bit to make it sound natural because you can't be like, like it sounds weird to be like that. Where the fuck you never breathe the whole time?
Right.
Like you're just the whole time. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's not natural. But
Twister can do that shit. I watched that motherfucker face to face rap, and I was like, "Holy shit! When is this motherfucker?"
He has
breathe?
crazy breath control.
Yeah.
He has
He's
crazy.
not- He's also not human. So.
Yeah, that's true. He's an android.
Yes.
He is a ghost in a shell.
Yeah, him and MC Juice. MC Juice is fucking one of the most incredible motherfuckers I ever seen.
You just hear me
freestyle.
breathe? Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is.
I'm a real person.
He's on another fucking planet for sure.
I feel like I could talk about a Machine Wash all day, but I really was like the two people that I feel like are our two main tent poles are definitely it's Maintenance Crew because they were the first artists that grew out of the collective.
Right.
And I think they're still probably the most streamed artists right now, even with nothing going on. They're still the most streamed artist on our label. And then it's Brown because he was our first non-collective person.
Right.
And I think still he was our biggest, like, I gotta say, man, Brown, he was our biggest pub. Like, he went around repping the label, like, you know, like, it was Wu-Tang. Like, he's like, fuck, I have Machine Wash, fuck this shit. He'd go around wearing the shirts, like, pubbing the shit. He wore it like a tattoo. Right. You know, like, he was out there everywhere with us. And I definitely felt the same. The most output too. Like, for the time he was with us, there was 2 Essentials records, the Christmas rap record. He put out a beat tape, another under the E Brown moniker as a solo artist. He had another man. I'm saying I have like 5 records that are like half done on my hard drive right now, and another one that's done that we was like, well, we weren't sure about. Like, it was already recorded. Like, this dude, like, eat, breathe, swam hip hop. And as an artist, like, if he had been on a, you know, like a major label, he would have had so much material for them. Right. You know, give me a 5 album. If he had like a 5 album contract, I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah, give me my money. I'm out.
I'm out of here. Like, Mos Def he was like, oh, I gotta get out of this thing. I gotta make some bullshit. Ebron, like, I have 5 dope albums ready. I don't like you guys, but put these shit out and I'm leaving. Right. Like, sure. I'm still gonna put out 5 other dope shits after this. But I can give you just 5 other dubs.
What's on the horizon for Machine Wash?
So, you know, COVID hit us, and also we had like a departure. So one of the dudes who was in the label left us, and he was like kind of our A&R person, and he did a Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Right. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And Brown was the only person that decided to stick around, which made it real, you know. And then he had his health issues, right? And then COVID, right? So we kind of had to regroup and like figure out what we wanted to do with the thing. The one thing we put out since that thing happened was the Purple Hotel. I don't know if you are a North Side resident or North Suburbs resident. You might know the Purple Hotel from some things that Al Capone was involved with.
I don't have a fucking clue, but yeah.
There's so if you watch the Netflix show, the movie, what was it called? Shit. There was a Scorsese movie he put out with Pacino and Rob De Niro recently about the Chicago mob. And fuck.
Not the Irishman.
The Irishman, yeah, it was called The Irishman. So there was a lawyer in there, whatever it was, but somebody died in the Purple Hotel's parking lot. It's a hotel in Skokie, Lincolnwood area, that was owned by or things happened. The Italian mob was there. The last couple of years, it fell into decay. It's shut down, and then it was just abandoned for a while. And these skateboarder kids decided to, like, you know, as skateboarder kids do, they find abandoned warehouses and hotels. The thing was on a main road, and it was just like empty. This big ass fucking lot. It's like a 20-story building, and it was empty for years because nobody wanted to take over it. But the Purple Hotel has a lot of history. People have been murdered there. It's not funny. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's kind of hilarious because it's just kind of like.
Was that on Lincoln Avenue?
Yes, Lincoln and Toohey. Yeah. Toohey. Toohey.
Did he just say Hawk Toohey? See, I told you this shit was gonna get diddied out.
No Diddy. Yeah. So they used to skate. So there was a pool, and most, as you know, if you're a skateboarder, most pools are a grade half pipes to skateboard in. So they were up there, and then eventually, you know, when it get broken, you can go into the hotel. It fell into repair. They made an album, Pez One and Captain Tave, these dudes called, as they made an album called Purple Hotel. That was our first thing after COVID for a while. You know, and thank you, Shondo, for like hitting me up. It's Juggernaut guys, they work at Juggernaut. It was a cool album, man, and I really appreciate it for the skits, because the skits made the album, and also who does skits now? I feel
Right.
it
Gotta
like
bring the
skits were
skits
like
back.
like skits were like on everything before, and you felt you had like a whole experience listening to the album from front to back.
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely made a story about a guy coming to the hotel in the 90s. Oh, Michael Jordan's here, you know. Oh, because he was when before the draft, he stayed at the Purple Hotel before the draft. Like people have like gone through there. A lot of people who did shows in the city would stay at the Purple Hotel because it's like right off the highway, right off 94 in Skokie. So maybe you're on the way to Wisconsin or going up north. They would stay there on the way. I used to see people at the there was like a delicatessen like down the street, and I used to see Scottie Pippen there, the Bulls players all the time. I used to work down the street. It's kind of like a historic spot, is because of where it's at, but also because shit happened there. Anyway,
If I don't count.
made an album about it. It was dope. I thought we got hit up by a librarian in Lincolnwood because she's like, man, they made it. I'm a historian, and I thought it was cool that these like kids made an album about this thing that I didn't know kids knew about.
That's dope.
We had like the weirdest interviews. It was cool. So I was like, that's dope. But yeah, Piz One and Captain Tave, shout out to them people. The younger kids making that shit. But then yeah, I mean Brown, for me, what I wanted to do, because I felt like he rapped us so hard, and he's our first artist too. And I had this stuff sitting there, and I hadn't really gotten back into the scene for a while. Again, another thing about COVID was like, man, everyone became homebodies, right? Like we had gotten used to like not going outside. And yeah, me too. I had stopped like going to hip hop events.
Right.
Like I just kind of sat at home and be on the internet. And for a while, it was like that whole wild shit in 2020. And then I'm pulling back because this is like angry and fuck this internet shit. And I try to like just be more chill, all that stuff. But like I felt like we should have something for Brown. He had wanted a record for a long time. I mean, if you're a hip hop person and you're an artist and you haven't had, you probably wanted vinyl your whole life.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's 100%.
right. I feel like that's anybody in that life is like, man, I really want to have a record with my name on it.
It's tangible. It's in your hands.
It's in my hands.
Hardware.
That vinyl in my hand. That's my work. You know, like it's something like, yeah, it's accomplishment. Like I don't care how many records you sold. If you did it all digitally, it's kind of not. It's weird. Like, I could say I said 100 million streams, but I never had a physical record. It's
Physical record.
yeah. So I wanted to do that for him. And we already have these songs done. And it was a little bit of like, for a while for me, it was like, I was trying to maybe do a whole album, and we didn't really have the material. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get this thing done. The 2 strongest songs. I gave him like a top 5. Here are my 2 picks. I think we should do these. We did this the Psalm song, the Get Mines, was already kind of released digital beforehand, and I think it's a really strong song. Kenny produced it. It's really strong. And it's also, funny enough, kind of fitting the motif of Machine Wash. It's the things about the song's about how you are you do everything. I'm doing everything. I'm the promoter, the baker, like, you know, it's like
Candlestick maker.
Yeah, candlestick maker. Right. I do the whole shit. Like I do
the baker, the candlestick maker. It's a whole motherfucking kitchen.
right.
Yeah.
Like we do it all. Like, so as people in the Machine Wash, like there's nobody who's like, this is my job, I only do this. Like, cause it's like I don't do this only thing. Like, no, so I'm the recording engineer. I'm also co-production stuff. I do the behind the scenes stuff, but I'm also on IG promoting stuff. I have to go out and like do hand to hand, like, hey, check out Brown, check this guy out, check this dude out. Can we get you a show? Blah, blah, blah. So A&R, like, I'm not going to say no to any work. I'm not a graphic designer, but if I can help, I can help. I put some of the video things together to put out like some kind of like a promo thing. But post. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
You got to keep posting stuff.
Yep.
Right?
Facts.
All those things. Consistency of things. So like, I'm never saying no to some work for the label. If I can do it, I'll do it.
Right. That's what's up.
And that's what Get Mines is kind of about. Like, and I know Psalm definitely knows that because she's a self-made. she does it all herself. She's not affiliated with that label. She's the label.
You guys
right?
picking up any new artists?
I mean, I'm open to it right now. We talked to some people.
I got somebody for you.
Hey, everybody got somebody. No.
Man, put me out.
No, I'll tell you some people right now. So
I'll pick my pen back up. Start rapping.
So let me tell you what some of the people on the label are doing right now. So like who Shantala is doing. Well, Shantala owns a record store in Beverly right now, which is not too far.
Yeah,
right up Wood, 103rd and Wood, right up the street. He is called Beverly Phono Mart. They've been there for 3 years now. So props to them. That's something that I would like to do. You know, it's a dream of mine to own a record store. So I can't believe he's doing it and being successful right now. It's crazy shit. But he met some people through that store. One of them is Backpack Beats.
Fire.
I
just got hip to him. So shout out to Backpack Beats. I'm gonna hit you up, bro. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I want you on the show. That dude is fire.
Yes.
I don't know how he came across my timeline. Well, I know how I came across the timeline because of all the shit that I watch and do shit. But he's fire.
So Backpack's one person that we're trying to work with. I think we already talked to him, so he knows. But
put me in touch with him to get him on the show. We need to get him on the show.
So do the show, do the album, whatever. Whatever, do it. Do that. Another person, and then I don't know if he wants me to say this, but I've been talking to Robust a little bit too.
Really?
He's got some stuff already done.
I ain't seen that guy in a minute.
Yeah, he's been around. He was at the Eagle.
Oh, well, he was?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I didn't even see him.
Yeah, he was around. He got some long ass hair now.
Oh, that's probably why I didn't recognize him. Robust, he used to come over at Revolver Records over in Pilsen a lot.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and he put out a great, I'm going to say this right now. It's like, I think the song that reminds me the most of Maintenance Crew that anyone ever put out was Robust Northern Soul off of, I can't remember the Potholes album. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Northern Soul, like the video is him walking around Albany Park.
Oh, okay.
You know, and the sound of it reminds me of Maintenance Crew a bit, where it's just kind of a chill, like walking around record with jazzy ass background shit. That's my favorite type of hip hop, man. And I gotta say, Digable Plants has been touring for 10 years almost straight now. Mm-hmm. I saw them in 2016.
They're on tour right now.
They've been on tour since 2016. I've seen them like 5 times since 2016.
That's what's up.
Like accidentally, like
the bills still got to get paid.
Hell yeah.
No, but I mean, like they broke up and got back together, and they've been back together longer than they were originally.
Shout out to them.
That's wild, though.
Probably had to unlearn
right?
a lot of shit.
That's wild to me because like their initial like was like 5 years, and then they broke up, and they broke up for a long time, and then they came back together and had been touring off those 2 albums for almost 10 years, and I'm not tired of it. I'm gonna see them again. I will see them again if they come back. I'll see them again because the show is always good. Yeah. And the albums are fucking amazing. And I think people are just coming around and seeing how good those 2 albums were. Especially the second one did not get the love it should have gotten the first time.
Yeah. Speaking of chilling, we're gonna do a quick version of You Got to Chill.
All right.
I'll just travel around.
Yeah, there's a couple of questions in there. You gotta ask the Drake question first.
Oh shit! It's longer than it's already done. I thought we were gonna be here late.
Yeah. So I
have a question.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you the.
All right.
These questions don't. What are you doing with the beat, man? The questions don't have no real answer. The answer is your answer. It's your opinion, your answer, whatever in the hell. And she might talk some shit about your answer. I will probably agree with you. So we'll just leave that at that. And she's gonna start off with one of my favorite questions.
All right. You ready? All right. What would you do if you woke up and you were Drake?
Woke up tomorrow morning and you were Drake. What's the first thing you do?
For 24 hours.
You're for Drake for 24 hours. What's the first thing you fucking do?
I'm probably DM somebody on Twitter.
What? What? This guy wants cakes the first day. The first 24 hours, he wants cakes.
That's what Drake does, right? I think that's what Drake does.
But you don't have to do what Drake does.
Who you DMing?
Who won't he DM is the question.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson.
I think that's a reasonable ask.
That is a reasonable ask. I don't know that she'd do it, but but it's Drake. She probably.
I mean, she dated Cory Booker. I feel like that's definitely an upgrade.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right, damn. But that's what you're. That's it.
I mean, I'm a realistic person. I'm not trying to go around. If it's 24 hours, I'm not trying to do any damage.
Why not? I mean, he's already damaged his own shit already.
I'm not trying to help him out either.
Okay. You're not gonna go to the bank and take some money out?
But I mean, that's his money.
Very
Then
interesting.
It could be your money.
I could transfer it. I could transfer his money into my account, but it's specifically Drake. So I mean, any rich person I could do that with. Drake, I'm gonna try to see if maybe I'll tell Rosario. Have you heard of Alejandro Jasso? He's a dope dude. You saw him at Comic-Con 2 years ago. He asked you a question. You should just
call
see
him
what's up. Call him up. Here's his number.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that.
Yeah. I did ask her a question at C2E2 like 2 years ago. So
She tell you to fuck off?
No, she smiled at me.
Shit.
There's pictures online.
All right. Okay. What we got next for
We
him?
vibe.
All right.
Come on, man.
How much wood could a woodchuck give a woodchuck?
In a rap battle to the death, who wins? East Coast or West Coast?
I mean, it's East Coast.
My man.
I mean, there's guns involved, then probably West Coast.
We didn't take it, no, it's a rap battle.
I mean, it says to the death. I mean, what does that mean? I don't know. But if it's the lyrics, then yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, vibes is one thing, songs is another thing. Like, I would say this: Cannabis can't make a lot of good songs, but he could definitely fucking fuck you up on lyrics. And if it's just a rap battle, then yeah, I mean, if the Mississippi River is the East Coast West Coast divide, you also have to put Detroit in there, and that means you give Eminem to the East Coast, and then that's kind of fucking fucked over at that point. Wow. You got Eminem, Cannabis, and Karis One, and I mean everybody from New York.
A butt ton of other.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Royce
I mean,
5'9".
I mean on the West Coast you have Razkaz, and there's people.
Yeah.
There's people over there.
True.
But I think it's just stacked on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying West Coast is like. I mean, again, we talked about this being the beginning. I was a West Coast kid.
No disrespect to the
obviously,
West Coast.
my first 6 tapes were heavily West Coast.
Right.
But I mean, I'm definitely not a hater. But yeah, on the lyrical side, yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah.
I get it. Viral or slow grind? And this is in your opinion.
I mean, I hate viral shit. Slow grind is definitely the way to get your long-term fans.
Right. Your core audience.
Yeah. You want to get like a pop hit, then yeah, you get that viral thing. The Hot 2 girl will be gone in 10 more minutes.
Right.
She's gonna be gone. My Neck on My Back. Who sang that song?
Kaya.
Yeah.
I
get it. I get where you're going with that.
Did she have another
But
song?
what if you had a slow grind and then all of a sudden something goes viral?
But then that would be Murs, I think. So like Murs is he's a slow grind artist that had he had that one Def Jux album that kind of blew up further for him, and then went right back to being nobody, kind of not nobody, but like he did a Warner Brothers record, and that like had that one song, and then he like jumped off of Warner Brothers again, and now he's on what's Tech Nine's
not Immortal. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he's on that record. I mean, I don't even check for him anymore, but he's doing very well. Right.
Oh, he's with Tech Nine.
He's with Tech Nine.
If you're with Tech Nine, you're gonna do well.
But it's like that's like a immortal slow grind in a way where you're gonna do well, and you don't have to be that popular.
Right.
I rather have
have your merch together.
Yeah. I rather have a long career of just you're doing okay. Then like have that like sharp spike and come back down again. And I don't know. I can't remember the actual line from Outkast, but it was something about like I don't want to be a star. I rather be. Oh man, I can't remember the line, but basically he was trying to say it. I don't want to be a shooting star.
Right.
You know, I rather be something else. And it was basically the same idea. Like I don't want to be a shooting star. I rather be by far. Right. I forgot the actual word he said, but that's the same idea.
It was very similar to what you just
said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. What you got?
What's the one thing you will not compromise or sacrifice on your music journey? That's the first part of the question.
And I I've have thought about this before because I know that there's been stories about artists having that like stick in the mud and then they're wrong, right? So like Nirvana is like one of the best examples. Their most famous album came about because the producer forced them to make that album that way. And then they made the album they wanted, and that album was way less popular. So In Utero is the album they wanted to make. And, was the one, The Water.
With the little baby in it?
Yeah. That album, which was in Team Spirit, is their biggest album, by far. It blew them up. It became the name. But it was done in a way that they didn't want to make it that way. And I think there's sometimes, if you get the right producer,
right,
it can be good. So I would say, like, you want to have that collaborative thing going on where you don't give it all up. You have to give some of yourself in the record. If it's just like it feels completely wrong, then don't do it.
Don't do it.
Okay.
But it's got to be at least a collaboration. It can't be just like someone telling you what to do.
Right.
Okay. And I think that's what that other album was. In Utero was just all him, and that was not a collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think having that point of view would help or harm your craft?
You just answered that.
Yeah, I think that was kind of both. Yeah, I think it was the same thing. I think it can definitely harm your shit if you are too much of a purist to what your idea was in the beginning. It can definitely harm it. Look at Elon Musk. If you think you're a fucking genius, voice of your generation, Kanye, you might hurt yourself. And if you don't think that there's anybody else that has an opinion that matters, that definitely will hurt yourself. Yeah. You are not infallible, no matter who you are. Prince took advice sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, so
I won't, but I get what you're saying.
And Prince probably should have took advice later in his life, and he might still be alive. Rest in peace.
I think that's very factual
Yeah.
statement.
Yep.
Gems.
What's more powerful in your hands? The tools that you feel that you need to get where you want to go artistically, or a blank check?
Shit. Oh man. I think a blank check at this point, because I think I already have. You don't need much to be an artist anymore. I think in music, as far as like the creation tools, it used to be like that. Man, in the 80s,
expensive.
You needed like
fuck.
Yeah, you needed a small bankroll to do that. That's why studios were everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but they were more popular because, to build a studio, you needed a grip. You needed a whole house like worth of money to make a studio, just the equipment side, and then the house itself. Right. So it was like a double. Now you can get a decently equipped studio for, at least for hip hop, well under $10,000. If you spend $10,000, that's a well equipped studio.
Yeah, that's a very well
equipped studio. When I was first coming out of school, even in 2008, I was able to record at least a decent album for $2,000, and I wish I had more. And I did eventually get more stuff and better things, but I don't think I've ever spent $10,000 to this day on all my equipment. But that money would go to now in a more promotional standpoint. Like it would be like more like, let me get a TV studio or something like that, where I could just like pump that shit out there. Right. Content out there. It wouldn't be about the recording of it. Right. Yeah. So that's it.
Shout out to that.
That's respectable. Mm-hmm. Is a hype man needed in hip hop anymore?
Is it needed? No. Is it wanted? Yes. I think energy is missing in hip hop.
There you go.
The stage presence has gone more to like a general pop thing. So like I Public Enemy, right? Can you think about Public Enemy without Flavor Flav?
Fuck no.
But at the same time, like people are like, why do they need Flavor Flav in that shit? Like, it's not so much on the actual records, but if you went into a show and just saw Chuck D by himself on the stage, it's kind of boring.
Right. Yeah. Facts. Yeah.
Right. But Chuck D's dope as fuck. I mean, like no disrespect to Chuck D at all. Like I love Chuck D, but as a showman, he don't really have that energy, right?
Right.
But what you got Flav on there is like, oh shit, yeah, fuck that, yeah, fuck the police, yeah,
you're like,
fuck the power, fuck the power.
He's right.
Yeah, boy. And yeah, some MCs have both. Like,
Right.
Karis One, he's the whole show. You go to see any Karis One show, he doesn't need a hype man. Some people don't. And I'm not sure why Busta Rhymes needs one.
Oh, you can't. Come on, Spliff Star.
Spliff.
You need him there on stage.
Isn't it crazy that Spliff can match his energy and like excel? I mean, that's a lot. That's a fucking
he don't
lot.
need him, but it's nice that he's there, right? And I think that I like, for me, I like Busta Rhymes is his own hype man in a way, but like, yeah, Spliff definitely does a lot. You watch those shows and you see Spliff doing like crazy shit,
all type of shit.
And I've even been I've been a hype man because like, so as a person who's recorded people's music. And as a person who, you know, I think I feel the energy sometimes. I'm like, man, you're not doing it right. Let me,
right.
like I actually went on stage. I'm like, hey man, you need some more energy. Blue, like, so I went up there like, I know your words, I know the whole song. Let me just go up there, like, get some movement going on. You're gonna sit there and like spit your rhymes and whatever. Like, I think Doom's a person who probably needed a hype man.
Yeah.
Right. Like, Doom is somebody who just kind of sat there like, he just went back and forth on the stage and walked up this. So I think the problem with modern hip hop in general is that there's no more groups, and then definitely don't have any hype man because of that, as a consequence of that. And some of those people were like sometimey people on the records. Like Phife was a 25% rhymer. Like, he didn't rhyme on all the songs, and definitely not on the first album. He came up as he went on, and became more prolific on the records, but he wasn't there in the beginning. Spliff Star, on the records you could take it or leave him, but on the shows he was way more consequential, right? You need somebody up there, man, to make a show. I don't need to see dancers and like pyrotechnics and other shit. And Puff Daddy's not a good hype man.
Because that's not his intention.
His intention is to stick his.
Like, he wants to be the main one on the stage.
Right.
So you feel that from him.
Right. You feel that from him. But Lil C's was a good like counterpunch to Biggie.
Right.
Because they had like their voices sounded different, and like that's another thing your hype man has to kind of like compliment you.
And he was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He felt the energy. He's like, oh shit, we're doing hip hop.
Oh, I'm on stage.
Fuck.
What the fuck?
Rapping around. Like, this is dope. There's a big ass audience. I love you. I think you're dope, and I'm gonna make sure they all fucking feel you're dope.
Everybody else knows you're dope.
Exactly. It's how your hype man should be your biggest hype man.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and actually feel that shit. Like, he should think that you're dope as fuck, and I think they should think that too.
Did you hear what he just said?
Fuck you.
See?
Okay. So this next question is.
Hold on, before you ask the question, you said you had a question for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my thing is this. So we talked about. I think before we started this. We talked about rap karaoke, right? And
I already know where you're going with this. Talking about rapping over their own lyrics?
No. Well, that's I think everyone knows about how we all feel about that. I think, right? Okay. All right. No. So I think if I gave you 10 seconds to think about a song that you know from front to back, and you had to do rap karaoke right now, what song would that be? And could you at least give me the first verse?
I ain't no joke, Rakim and Coogee Rap, Road to Riches.
So if we just went.
Okay, I got to think about it right quick.
Oh, see, that's not. Yeah.
No, I mean, if I'm doing fucking rap karaoke, I'm gonna have a second because some other asshole's gonna be up there doing this shit.
No, but I was saying, like, what's the song you know from by heart, 100% for sure.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke.
Okay.
Now I slam it when it's done and make sure it's broke.
Okay.
So I won't let nobody mess up or press up the scene I set.
About first before you
I got to stand in the crowd and watch people wonder. Damn, think about it, then you'll understand. I'm just an addict, addicted to music. Maybe it's a habit. I got to use it, even if it's jazz or a quiet storm. I can beat it.
All right.
Beat it, convert it into hip hop form. Whatever.
Yeah, well, that's good enough for me. That's okay. I got you. Yeah, for sure. Man, I feel like there were a lot of people who did that and got up on stage and didn't realize that
they didn't know it.
Yeah.
Either A, didn't know the actual verses. They thought they knew the hook, but they didn't know the verses.
Right.
Or didn't realize how hard rapping is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the breath control.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me go up there and do OPP real quick.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Tretch is a fucking crazy.
And
like,
he has asthma. That's insane.
Yeah.
And the guys, man, I didn't even know I did that.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that's fucked up because honestly, sitting here, the message off of It Was Written, I think that might be the only like all the way to fuck through, and that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like probably famously, I'm on the Facebook page.
So now I'm
Still
thinking
twice.
about Coogee Rap.
I did Mama Said Knock You Out twice. The first time I ran out of breath, and it wasn't because I didn't know the song. I literally like didn't know that I couldn't spit it like that. But it was like the fourth verse.
Right.
Right.
That's a lot of power. 'Cause he's saying that shit with a lot of power.
And you have to yell that. You gotta yell that song the whole time to really like deliver it correctly. You can't be like, "Mama said knock you out."
Yeah,
Mama
you're
said
not
scream
gonna
and
do
As
shout.
we do in the car when we're rapping along and shit like that.
Yeah, I was.
okay.
I was. Man, there's pictures on Facebook right now of me doing it. But I was performing the song like to the audience, and the first time I was like, damn, I couldn't get through it. I came back and like, no, I'm doing it this time. I fucking got all the way through it, and I like, I fucking did it. Like, but man, that's definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. I love LL Cool J. I love that song because it's just like the most, to me, like the essence of like some of the hip hop shit is just like that braggadocio shit. And that song is like also, not only is it like, it's like a general diss song in a way. Cause it's like people
I didn't hear a word he said. I was doing the Coogee Rap Road to Riches.
He's still doing it?
I was doing it like I was sitting over here whispering the shit.
It's like, don't call it a comeback. I've been
Oh,
here
that
for
was
years.
something. Yeah, I've been here for years.
Yeah.
You're talking shit.
Shaking my peers with something severe.
Yeah.
Making the rains come down like a monsoon. It's the baseball
Baseball
boom
boom.
explosion, overpowering.
Sucking
Yeah.
seas, I'm towering.
Shot.
was tired.
Then I drop these lyrics that make you call the cops.
Yeah.
Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest of the all get sliced and diced. Come to just paying the price. And it's,
sitting out
man,
there.
that
So
song
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What the fuck does pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by a building mean?
I heard it's sexual.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I
what I always
know. He explained it some shit in an interview, and he basically just said it's sexual.
I
The
just wanted to
pink
hear your
cookies
take on
are, vaginas, I think, and I think it's condoms. The plastic bag is the condoms, and the crushing is him crushing it.
it. Wow. Very nice. Very eloquently put.
Yeah. Have you read the book?
No, I
LL
have
Cool
not.
J's book? It's disgusting.
I bet. He's like he's like the Wilt Chamberlain of rap.
Yeah, he talks about like I read it. I think I read it in high school too, and I like it was my first like hip hop biography that I bought. I've bought all of them. I bought Tupac one, the Karis one, ripping it. The Karis one's like a philosophy book. It's not so much about his life. It's kind of his thoughts and shit. LL Cool J's is a biography about him being on the road and doing shows and shit, and like how he wanted to hurt girls' crotches and make them walk fucked up after having sex with them.
Shout out to LL Cool J.
Yes.
The first hip hop Republican.
First hip-hop Republican. Now you want to hit horns and shit. We're talking about LL smashing chicks, and you want to hit the horns.
He knows what's relevant out here in these streets.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so the question is, what rapper do you fear most skill wise? I don't think that really applies to you. So let's just get a little creative. So as a producer, if you could think of a mainstream artist, like somebody that the viewers are like really know, who do you think would be an interesting person for you to work with on a production side, but also that would be a challenge to you? Like you almost be like, fuck, I don't even know if I could.
Probably Kendrick, because Kendrick is so
Very layered
of an MC, and probably I already see like, and people have made jokes about this shit online all the time about how you like, okay, for these 4 bars, I'm gonna sound like this, and then the next 4 bars, I'm gonna voice like this.
That's
Yeah.
a
Like
fucking
I'm
and then
engineer's
chased by
producing
philosophy.
and then we're
nightmare.
gonna change the whole beat.
Yeah.
Like it's like his songs are very complex for the pop audience. I mean, like if you're looking at like indie hip hop, then maybe that's more normal. But like for the pop audience, for him to do so many things in one song,
Yeah.
like multiple samples, multiple change ups in the drums, and his voice sounding different on one song, that's a challenge. I think I guarantee you, I mean, I haven't looked in, I've listened to some podcasts about some of his songs, and definitely like there's days of work on one song.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without
For
a
sure.
doubt.
Yeah.
I can listen to that shit and go, I hate to be that guy.
100%. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, he had
And with a deadline too on top of that shit.
And also, he probably was very particular about the pitch shift. Like, okay, we're pitch shifting my voice here, but like, no, higher, no, lower. Like, no, yeah.
No.
More.
No.
I need more alien and a little more bass in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be a fucking nightmare. I'd
Yeah,
be like,
all day.
hey, Kenny, you better go sit the fuck down is what you better go do.
And he's like, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
All right.
I'd have threw a laptop at his ass.
Word of mouth or the internet?
I mean, it depends if you're a local cat or if you want Germany to know that you're doing shit. Yeah, I think for us it was the internet, because I don't think we'd have friends in Germany and Laos listening to Maintenance Crew if it wasn't for the internet.
I mean, you gotta appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I do appreciate it 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we're good.
One more.
Okay, what you got?
Is it-
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No. What?
The give me your energy. You're not doing that?
No.
Why?
Because I'm curious to know what he thinks about this. And yeah, I will do that after this.
Okay.
I love your opinion thus far.
All right.
So it's a very simple question, but I don't know. I just care about what people think. Is it really possible to have a top 5 rappers list?
To have a static one, probably if you are stuck in the 90s kid, or you're just stuck in whatever era you're in. But my top 5 continues to flow.
See?
Okay. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Your 6 that you started with, because we have very similar tastes. I'm just curious because West Coast is very prevalent in your conception. So do you use those 6 to kind of, I don't know if I'm fucking with that, or this was like this
as a gauge, kind of
like is that your your gauge? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because okay, yeah. So here's my friend. So a lot of my friends would say that even you guys were like, what the fuck? You listened to Coolio when you were a kid?
Yeah, well, I said that. Everybody else was like, oh yeah,
Well,
Coolio, man.
I
He
have
was a
a
crackhead.
13-year-old that, for whatever fucking reason, and I don't even know where she heard this shit, she fucking vibes out to Gangsta's Paradise, and that shit. I don't even know how it makes me feel, because it's just like,
It's a real Stevie Wonder song.
when I was
originally.
fucking that age, so was I.
So
here we go.
I think why we have now the reaction to Gangsta's Paradise, because it was played the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right.
It was everywhere. They played it on every single award show.
Yeah.
And then Stevie Wonder came, and then they brought the
That
whole
shit
chorus
was like,
out, and
what
then
the
an
fuck is happening?
orchestra was there. So like, when was the first time you seen
And then Weird Al got his hands
and
on
then
it.
a Weird Al, yeah.
Right.
Once you got a Weird Al parody of your song,
Yeah.
you've definitely made it.
Yeah.
But then you
have
also,
arrived.
but you've also got played out at the same time, right?
Same time. You arrived and you got fucked at
Right.
the same time.
He was the first rapper to have a Weird Al parody. Yeah. Outside of like MC Hammer, like MC Hammer had one. Of course he did, right? Like
Yeah.
But like he was the first like kind of serious rapper that had a parody of himself, and he was mad about it when it first came out too.
He was pissed.
He was
He
pissed.
was as fuck. He wasn't that pissed when that check came.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, go buy me the biggest of crack rocks. the biggest of crack rocks.
I ain't even had to work for this.
Yeah.
Heat detector, ladies and gentlemen. That was fabulous.
Man, but yeah, I think there's gonna be a stigma around Coolio because of Gangsta's Paradise being too popular, right? And that's a tragedy of the fame in a way, right? But I think I still stand by that. Fantastic Voyage, the album, was a very good album. Right now, you can go back to it and listen to it.
I will not.
And that's my maybe.
I mean, compared to your Ja Rules and
Yes,
such.
100%.
Yes.
2000s rap, horrible.
No, but I'm saying like it's not even about like the style or any of that shit. It's literally about put the shit on and sit there. Can you sit through it?
Through the whole album.
Would
Yeah, I
you
can
even
sit
find
through
something
it. I can sit
interesting
through
about
it.
it?
I
Yeah.
could sit. I'm talking shit, but I could sit through it.
It's way better than thing that Ja Rule put out.
And
Like,
I mean,
that's like no bullshitting. Like,
as far as both of you guys are concerned, because you're fucking producers, so you're vibe setters.
She called me a vibe setter.
Why the? No, I mean in real
That's
life,
awesome.
like you may
awesome.
be an asshole, and I don't really like you, but producer
What
wise,
the? Where in the fuck did that come from?
you put out some great shit. Maybe it's the aggression and the Ice-T vibes. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Ice-T vibes.
You're great.
She's gonna. Wow.
You're great.
The insults.
You're great. But when you
It's
talk
also
about
coupled.
those two albums, like, why do you think one that came out in like 1945 is okay right now, and the other one is like?
We talked to me.
That wasn't both of you guys, but that wasn't that long ago. But I don't give a fuck at all. Like, what's
so here's the thing. I think a lot of people have nostalgic goggles about the time period too. So like, there was some whack shit that came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so that's one thing, and it's not Coolio's Fantastic Voyage, but it might be Coolio's third album. The third album is bad. It's Ja Rule level bad, but Ja Rule is Ja Rule level bad.
Right. Ja Rule
Like
is
the whole
Ja
time,
Rule level bad.
He never put anything good out. This is Ja Rule, right? It's the whole time is Murder Inc. And I don't know if there's anything that collective that put out is anything that's like not just some pop rap shit. If you
Clap
like,
back was all right when he was trying.
it's like the poppiest of things, like the things that he had an R&B princess on, if you will. Barbecue that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
and it
Watch
was
Dishes to it,
a
whatever.
formula. Yeah, it was a formula.
And that shit worked. But it's like what he tried to do on like the B-side cuts and shit that's deep in the album. It's like, I don't fucking understand. I literally spent, and there's no disrespect to you, Ja Rule. If you
this is all disrespect.
because God bless you for being an artist and doing what you did. But the point is like I don't understand. Like I don't. And
He
then
had a couple of hits.
And then it really
Oh yeah,
bothered
hits.
me.
I'm gonna say, were they good though?
It still fucking bothers me to this day that you can have this man have like 4 to 5 videos on the fucking all the fucking TRL and the 106 and Park countdown. But here comes this motherfucker from Queens who told us, "Hey, fuck that guy," and then like the very next Wednesday,
He's gone. He's gone.
what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's crazy. That motherfucker
like,
was everywhere.
I quit.
Yeah, it was like this guy who we don't even know.
He said put out 2 EPs and he was gone.
But it was like, but not only that,
Wankster.
like the albums were, the songs were barely out. He literally was like, "Hey, fuck that guy, okay?" And everybody's like, "All right."
Because nobody really,
Nobody gave a fuck from the beginning.
But that's
exactly,
what I'm saying.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
Like I literally sat one day at home and I was like, I was talking to my brother and I was like, can we talk about this? Because there's no fucking way that I have 6 songs. I'm like everywhere. When the Twin
He was everywhere
Towers
for a while.
fell,
Yeah, he was everywhere.
You ain't saying
wanted to
that
know-
shit about Drake. This shit's everywhere.
Well,
You can't
if
turn
let
on
me-
the fucking
if
radio.
you let me articulate let me finish.
Stop pointing at
He
me.
had a long career too.
The new that situation is Drake and Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's way more validity in this one.
And there's more Drake fans like, no, we're riding with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there were fighters for Drake.
Yeah.
There were no fighters for Ja Rule.
Like niggas was really
They just
like,
fell
who?
the fuck over. Like,
What'd you
boop.
say?
Because you know why? There were 0 hip hop fans for Ja Rule. It was all pop radio people that liked that song. It wasn't like any hip hop fans. It was like there were some passive people on the radio listening to those songs that like Maya or Christina Milian. You know, it was a catchy tune.
Yeah.
There were no hip hop fans. There are hip hop fans that like Drake, that think he's a dope lyricist and all that. So they're gonna have some. He's gonna have some soldiers that are like, oh no, we're riding with Drake.
It's very true.
Ja Rule didn't have 0. He maybe had like 2 people or something like that. Maybe his family. I don't know.
Probably a couple of his cousins.
But it was over really fast because no one was like, oh yeah, Ja Rule can definitely battle some. Nope, nobody said that.
Clapback was all right though. I like the beat more than I did anything else.
But all I'm saying is this. So I think your original question was like, so what was the question again?
The original question was,
Can you have a top 5?
right? Can you? And then then we started talking about
So where it came from, where I came from. So like, yeah, I mean, my top 5 originally when I was a little kid, when I was in grammar school, it probably was like Snoop, Coolio. It probably was. I'm not even gonna front. It was like when I was in 7th grade, I was like, I really liked Coolio. I really liked him. But that first album was very good. I still think it's.
Those are your 11-year-old ears talking to you.
I still think it's a good album. I don't think it's
But
a
the fact that he
classic.
can respect it means a lot.
Yeah, that first album, and I think maybe because my
11-year-old
perspective
ears.
is from there. An East Coast cat coming to it now, maybe won't respect it the same way, but it does have some Easy Mo Beast sounding stuff on there, and I think you might fuck with it if you give it a chance. It Takes a Thief is a dope fucking song. It sounds like a Mobb Deep song in a way that it's like him describing how he's going into people's cribs and breaking in and stealing
That's your
shit.
11-year-old mind wanting to break into
But that's
someone's house.
a Mobb Deep song. That's like them describing a crime.
Yeah.
In a slow gangster type of way, and it's not a funk. It's not even he didn't have all that like funk shit. It didn't even sound West Coasty. The rest of the album, a few songs do.
I'm gonna go take it another. I'm gonna give it another
Check it
gander.
out. I'm putting it out
give
there.
it another gander.
Check out Fantastic Voyage.
It's been about 3 decades
Like,
maybe
it's
since I
dope.
even heard some Coolio shit. So I'll give it a gander.
The last song on the album is like this like melancholy, sad song about how he, back in the days with the kids, he used to play with a can. Like it's a very like lighthearted. He's got it's a range of shit on there. It's a good album. It's a very good
That's
album.
the
That's it.
11-year-old fucking
Him
Alejandro
talking about
right there.
coming out of closet smoking crack. It's all over the place, man. I'm telling you, like it's a good. There's a song about
All right,
him.
I'm fucking convinced.
Okay, check it out. Okay,
I'm
anyway,
gonna check it out.
so that's probably the most like I think an underrated album that's out there. Anyway, but my perspective from that, outside of that, I mean, I think Q is respected from East Coast side because he had the hit the Bomb Squad from Public Enemy again.
You talking about Ice Cube?
Yes.
Fuck Ice Cube.
I mean, fuck Ice
Fuck
Cube now.
Ice Cube. I don't hate
100%.
Ice Cube. I just want my fucking money.
Oh,
I want my fucking money, O'Shea.
is it? Was he right here? Is that him?
Yeah.
No.
I want my money, O'Shea. You know what you did. Give me my fucking money.
Protect yourself, Cube.
Yeah, no, I'd fight that motherfucker right now if he walked through the door. I want my fucking money. This is that serious. I want my fucking money. I was robbed by them motherfuckers. Yeah.
That dope boy.
Yeah.
Also,
Fuck them assholes.
not great.
Fuck
Right?
Ice Cube.
He's also had some bad looks lately with them.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Fuck that.
yeah, but I think outside of that, I mean, I think how do you guys feel about Snoop? I don't know. Like,
Snoop's straight.
I still love him.
I love him as a person right now. He's definitely
He's a whole brand right now.
It's wild. I think about this
He
too.
getting rich,
When I was
young rich.
in the 80s and 90s, there were multiple investigations from the FBI with Ice-T, NWA. Snoop had a murder trial, and now Snoop is doing Martha Stewart in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And
Shout
he's
out to
like,
Snoop.
it's just the weirdest shit that hip hop has come.
Season of The Voice.
You know, Rhyme Syndicate
Yeah.
was actually something before that. It was
It's the
called Crime
weirdest shit.
Syndicate. The Crime Syndicate.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Rhyme Syndicate.
Oh,
They-
and
they
the
used to-
locks were the locks was before some other shit.
Yeah, there was some other shit.
Yeah. But I just think like that's like personal life stuff from these people that are now just kind of like part of pop culture is just really wild that they used to be so counterculture and now they're just part of the mainstream is kind of wild.
That's the world we live in.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, like I don't know who else. I mean, KRS One's probably been in my top 5 the whole time, so that part hasn't changed. Outkast came into it for a while, and I think Andre is still probably. I liked Andre from the start, like, and that became more of a mainstream thing to think lately, after probably the 5th album. But I was always a big Outkast fan when they first came out. I remember going to Best Buy the day it dropped, like walking a mile to go to the Best Buy to get the record 3 times. Those like for ATLians, for Aquemini, and for Stankonia. I went like the first day to get the CD from Best Buy, and
That's
then
a
when for Stankonia though. Bombs Over Baghdad.
Is
That
that a
shit
dope
is the
song?
fucking
It's a
wildest
fucking
song to
dope
me,
song.
and I got that shit on CD. I was like, "Fuck, I'm playing that shit on repeat." Fuck, I fucking love that song. There's so much going on with the production of that song, with the drums, and man, that's crazy.
Dungeon Family.
But yeah, I feel a little sad about like that was not Dungeon Family. That wasn't Organized Noise anymore, and
That's what
yeah.
I meant to say.
But it was their own production. He leveled up, but then left them, But then Sleepy Brown did his own thing. Big Boy, they did their own albums together, and that was also dope. And Big Boy got better at his craft, and it is crazy to me. I got to see them so many times in Chicago, and I feel like lucky to be able to see them in smaller venues before they got so blown up. Like saw them at House of Blues twice for their smaller albums, and then I saw them at the Aragon for Stankonia. And when I went to that show, I knew it was the last time I was ever going to watch them because I saw the crowd, and like you can just tell like how they're dressed. And I was there passing out flyers for Northeastern hip hop show, and I thought that there was going to be some overlap there, and I was very wrong. When I saw I saw the crowd, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm passing these out, but yeah. And there was also a street team there for Quelo too, and I was like, guys, we're at the wrong show. Like both of us are at the wrong show. They don't give a fuck about anything that we're doing right now. These are like surfer kids coming here from Wisconsin to see the show.
That's what happened when I went to go see Griselda. I was ready, and I walked in that bitch, and I was like, who in the fuck? What the fuck? Like I went in there hoodied up. I was ready. Like I was thinking maybe I'll get into ready to get into a fist fight in that bitch or some shit. And it was like, I was like, man, where in the fuck am I at? What kind of shit is this? What? Fucked up my whole vibe.
I just remember like, man, when I was younger, I was like, I don't know if I can go to a hip hop show because I feel like I don't look the part.
You
I can't
went
go
to the
shows.
Griselda concert.
And then by the time I was in college,
even you would have felt out of place.
No, but by the time I was in college, I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't hip hop. I'm hip hop.
Right.
It was like those 10 years went by. I'm like, I went from like feeling out of place to be telling people they're out of place.
Right. Shout out to that.
Like y'all motherfuckers can't be here. I belong here. You guys fucking
I belong here. You don't belong here. I put in the fucking man hours. So with that being said, man hours, tell everybody how they can find, purchase, merch, everything from shirts to vinyl to tapes. Tell them all of your shit right now.
All right, so
give them some background music.
Neighborhood
Something
shows. I'm gonna go ahead and first tell you where you can get it locally in Chicago because we have dropped off records here and there. So Shady Rest in Pilsen, 606 in Pilsen. You can also get it from Gramophone if they still have them. And Sugar in Wicker Park. And of course, the number one place you can get it if you're on the south side is Beverly Phono Mart because that's our dude Chintala is wearing that shit with his wife. They got hella records of that. And you can also buy, a bunch of other records there. But if you want to get it on the internet, you can get it from our Bandcamp, which is machinewashmusic.bandcamp.com. Or you can go to our website, machinewashmusic.com. Also see us on Instagram, Machine Wash Music. Facebook, Machine Wash Music.
And if you forget that, look in the back of your fucking shirt. It'll say Machine Wash.
Yeah.
And you will remember.
Yeah. The tag says Machine Wash only.
Yeah.
Cold.
You see?
Cold.
Cold-blooded. All right. Anything else you want to give some shout outs and shit before we
Yeah, shout out to local cats who don't do local cats anymore, but if you want to go to I Know Prints to get your prints done, they're there doing your prints. And of course, Chantal's got your records in the south side. Vistal's doing his thing, if you can find Vistal somewhere. And Zaid is part of Marmora, is a all brother group of stoner rock kids. So if you like stoner rock, check out Marmora. Mm-hmm. We put out one of their records, but they have more. Okay. So check them out.
Shout out to Il Brown, Encyclopedia Brown,
Kenny Keys.
Oh,
you know what? Let me just go down real quick of everything we've ever put out ever. Real fast.
Go ahead.
We got Black Magic, which is Ably Free, and oh shit. I'm about to break my brain. My brain broke now. You're telling me I can't remember now.
Yeah. Let's go. Come on.
Uncle L. My bad. And we got Burp.
I know him. Burp. Dope dude. Shout out to
shit.
Burp.
My brain's out. Now my brain can't work anymore. I can't think now. Maintenance Crew. Damn. Oh, Def C. Def C's dope as fuck. Actually, man, if you find anything else from Def C, he's put out a bunch of stuff from other people's records and solo. He's also a teacher. Go check him out. Dope ass dude. Clue Rock. I also did stuff with Moleman. We put a record with him out too. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody else that we put out stuff with. Max Julian, who put a record out with Conway the Machine. We have a 7-inch with him. That's also still available. We have a few of those left. You can go on the website and get that too. I highly recommend that one. And we have a compilation that Uncle L put out with a bunch of Chicago artists. It's called No Dose.
No dose.
So don't sleep on that.
Sleep.
It's on the Bandcamp, and it's for free, but you can pay us if you want to.
Yeah. That fucking donation out in that bitch. You know what I want for that outro? Come on, man. Give it to me. I'm itching. I'm dying over here. Woo! Hey! You already know what it is, man. It's been one. It's been one. Shout out to Machine Wash Music. Shout out to my boy Alex. Shout out to UNRAP the podcast. You know what we doing, man. We'll be back at it like crack addicts next Friday at 8:30, motherfucker. You know what it is. Hit that like and subscribe. Shit.
To this day.
I was about to spit some bars, man.
To this day.
Woo! God damn it.
To this day.
It's UNRAP, baby.
To this day.
Hey, we'll see you motherfuckers
To this
next
day.
week at Friday at 8:30. Chicago time, dummy. Let's go.
Day.
We
To
out
this
this bitch.
day.
Peace, peace.
To this day.